Setting. Test. Setting. Test. Okay, that's one way to do a test. Let's move you over there. Oh no. Oh no, I can't even see it. Oh no. I pressed the wrong button. Alright, so in a moment or two she'll go live too. Let's put that down there. Nah. Oh, how did I do this last time? I need to be able to see the mixers. Nah, this isn't gonna work. Trying to do too much, boy. Ain't gonna work. Yep, there you go. Shrink it down. Audio there. That's what I want to see. And that almost might work. That might almost work. Cool, let's see what we get. Oh. What we need is subtitles. Subtitles are on. Oh, okay. I guess there's not much I can do about that then. Sure thing. See if I give this a shot. Ooh, didn't need to drop there. There we go. Test. Oh no! Came in without audio. Mic check. 1, 2. How are we gonna find out we got audio? What's up, bro? How we doing? Let's see if we can check the audio. Oh, how's he just standing on top of the police cars? Alright, that's what we're supposed to be doing. I can't remember now. Where am I from? I am from Earth, I think. So I'm told. There was a rumour when I was a child that my parents found me in the bush and aliens dropped me there, but I can never confirm it myself, so I just assume I'm the same as everyone else. But yeah, truth be told, I think I'm from Earth. Where are you from? I mean, of course, they couldn't have reported it to the authorities, and the world find out there's aliens, so there's like a whole scheme behind why they couldn't tell anybody. Why won't the audio go away? Go away. Close. Oh. TikTok has crashed already. Like, I've just opened it. Oh my days. This app is brutal. Oh my gosh, well, we'll just have to live with it for a while. Spend in English. Sorry, what? Alright, maybe we need to test YouTube audio because there's no way of telling if you can hear me. Hey, what's up, folks? How you doing? What's up, JP? Yeah, we got to test the YouTube audio. Oh no, I'm saying the red app on the black app. Now they're going to penalize me. TikTok's such a jealous app. Hold up. Like, even saying that I said that makes it worse as well, because the AI will just be like, he's talking about XYZ, and then put like a little caption on it. He's talking about some other. Alright, 1 second. Audio seems to be working. Audio seems to be very quiet on over there. Audio seems to be working. Yes, it is Second Son, and I'm giving it a second chance, because the first time I am a bailed. No, 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 he's a good guy. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was a little bit spooked out by the story when I first started it as well, because it's like it had like, how can I say this? It seemed like it was going in a kind of woke direction with the native culture, you know, like I'm talking about Native Americans, and I didn't know how to take it in the beginning. Like the very beginning of this game is like, it's like morally dubious, but of course like the game is designed to make you make moral choices the whole time as well. But I mean, just the type of storyline made me a bit apprehensive. What's up, Jerry D? Do you want to come and speak to me about it? Google predestination. I think predestination, is that like a sort of determinism? Does that mean like God has decided where everything will be, like the finality of everything, where everything is going or everyone is going? Is that what that means? Or does it mean something else? I can't really Google while I'm on the app because it will the sound will go off. The game is not being played properly. That's what it is. I'm getting shot at already. Like, bro, I just wanted to go to the crime scene. Oh my days, what was that? And that's the other problem that I find about this. You can't really fight back properly. Just like getting jumped way too quickly. Do you reckon this particular game is the most realistic one? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's still early game though, so I don't know what the storyline is really like yet. So I can't really say. I think did you ever watch a show called Heroes that came on TV back in the day? What's up, Steve? What kind of Satanism? I hear that there's different types. So there's this show called Heroes back in the day, and it was like one of the first time you ever saw like live action TV show just based on people that have superpowers. That show was really good, man. It was really good. I can't remember how it ended. I think I just gave up on it at some point. I kind of gave up watching TV completely. That show was pretty good. I think that would be a fairly close depiction to what it might be like if people had powers, especially the Sylar character. Yeah, I think it was invented. It got cancelled. What's up, Berlin? See, that makes sense too. Why the hell did they cancel it? Remember Hero? Is it Hero? He's like the Japanese dude that can go back in time. I thought that part was pretty dope as well. The guy that gets like premonitions of the future and paints it as well. I thought that was pretty dope. It was like some interesting stuff in there, man. I think around that time as well. Around that time, I think it was like Obama was just running for president. I think maybe about that time. It's like the like politics in it were interesting as well. Yeah, but Demon Slayer, if humans are prideful and God's responsible for humans, so that means God's responsible for that too, bro. Like, he could have just tweaked it a little bit different, though, surely. Mash said, you pagan. What's wrong with pagans? Do you know, like, pagan literally means anything that's not Christian. So that means Muslims are pagans, Jews are pagans, Hindus are pagans, Norse believers in mythology are pagans, Buddhists are pagans by that standard, doctors are pagans, philosophers are pagans, scientists are pagans, atheists are pagans by that standard. That's literally the definition of it. Am I mumbling that bad? You can't hear me? Am I mumbling that bad? Nah, yeah, I am mumbling, but I'm not mumbling that bad. Do I believe Caesar was a real person? I feel like Caesar's a title. I feel like there were various different Caesars. Yeah, but if you're asking me that like in a comparative way to Jesus, then I think you're making a bit of a mistake there. My thoughts were created, perhaps. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. They didn't have to go too hard on the special effects, I think, as well. I might actually be worth rewatching Heroes. It really might, just like for a nostalgic kind of callback. Maybe even do like a type of analysis video, like a video essay about it. Maybe might actually be worth it. I remember at a certain point, I went back and watched absolutely every episode of X Files, and then it got up to like a modernized season, and they had like mobile phones. And I was just like, I'm out. It was just way too. It was like, I can't say it's political, but it was woke in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? It's like it was like try hard type of woke, which is bad type of woke to me. Yeah, I want to play it as well, Overlord, but obviously I'm not doing a good job of that. All it wants me to do is go to the crime scene and investigate, but every time I try and get near it, it's getting clapped down by absolutely everybody. And being the way that TikTok's set up with the super loudness of the mic, I can't even turn the TV up to hear what's coming. Oh, look at this. Also not a big fan of the movement in this. I feel like the movement isn't even better than Infamous 2. And that's kind of embarrassing. It's like a whole generation apart. What's up, Sandra? Wanna come talk to me about it? Hit the little request button with the red man and the blue man. What's up, A Ron? How you doing, bro? What's up, Baron? Let's see, I'm just like running down the street. I think he has some powers, but I haven't really paid attention to the progress of the game. So he should really be able to shoot like a. Remember, like in 1 and 2, he could throw grenades and stuff, or like electric grenades. The menu's pretty poor in this. Oh yeah, and the touchpad was super gimmicky as well. That was another big put off. Yeah, I can't even see. This menu sucks. Like, what is this? Oh, you see? I think it's the touchpad. See what I mean? Super gimmicky. But I think it was one of the earlier games for PS4, that's why. That's why they did it. Wait, what? We got 25 shards. L1 to throw a non-lethal sulfur bomb. A boom. I think that's the one I want. That's doing nothing. What? That is doing nothing. Oh, other problem I don't like about this as well. You have to destroy things to get your health back. Whereas in Infamous 1 and 2, you can literally just go up to anything electric and just take power from it. I think that was like pretty bad. Right, DUP completed. So I'm in the area, but what do they want from me? When you get Neo on this battle, so he's gonna change his power, like his power sets. If the game doesn't keep my interest, I'll never get there. It's like the second time I've installed it. Oh, go away! Like the fighting's rubbish as well. Do you know everyone? Well, I think it's actually last year now when I was playing Prototype 1 and 2. The movement is still like Prototype 1 and 2's movement and combat is way better. It's like Spider-Man level. It's just fluid. This is not even at that level. And that's PS3, bro. Come on. I think we need to spend some points. Guy is way too weak. Oops. I got a trophy for that as well. That's dread. Alright, yeah, so guys, I know I'm enjoying playing the game. I'm actually quite tired too, but I still want to talk to one of you, or two of you, for a few hours maybe. So if you want to hit that request button, you should be able to have a little chat with me. I appreciate you, Penguin, bro. Tune back in later, bro. Drop me a subscribe. That's actually quite a possibility, Erland. That's quite a possibility. I mean, it wasn't. So, like in the UK, there's this shop called HMV. It's like usually, well, back in the day, it used to just sell music. But at a certain point in time, it started selling games as well. Like most of our actual game shops in the UK have shut down. They've like either completely left the high street or merged with other shops. So like the actual shop game merged with Sports Direct. So there'd be like certain Sports Direct shops will just have like a little section where the game is, the franchise game. But anyways, that being said, all the way up until like 2022, there was this one particular mall I used to go to, and I would see a HMV, and in the window they would still have all the promotional material for Infamous, the vampire one, and this I think. So it's probably likely that there was actually no. It's very likely because I think Infamous is exclusively Sony, so it's very likely Erlen actually, if I'm not mistaken. It's very likely. Look, I can't even get past this level. I'm gonna throw the controller. Anyone want to talk about the actual theme of the show, which is humans invented God? Right? Let's do a request test to see if it's actually possible for people to request. Yo, oh wait, I haven't even accepted it. Yo, Brian, I see you. Just give me a second. I'm doing audio test. Test. Yo. Ah, man. There's always something in it. It's gonna crash.
Pep talk, but you got any luck with that first victim on your face database?
Yo. There we go. Yep. Alright, cool.
From the looks of the guy, I at least would have expected a drug bust or two.
That's the other account. You can follow it if you want to. Oh, Brian bounced. That's a shame. Alright, cool. But yeah, now at least now I know you can. So you can request up if you want to. What part of God do I not believe? All of it. It's not like a specific part. In fact, the way I see it is, God concepts keep getting more and more ridiculous as time goes on. To be fair, so God actually the idea of God is getting harder and harder. It's harder and harder to believe as time goes on, because just the way that the idea itself functions, it's like people are constantly trying to patch it every time someone sees a problem in it, and it's like, you know. Actually, that being said, if it does stay that trajectory, then maybe at some point in the future it would be actually ridiculous for majority of humanity to believe in God. Even though I low-key think it is now, but if it keeps going this direction, God keeps it begins to sound more and more ridiculous as time goes on. So maybe that's not such a bad thing. It might be like a built-in self-destruct. Why is he running in circles? But yes, if you actually want to talk about a topic, you can request up. I can't look at all the chats because there's like more than one chat going on. I will be looking at chats in intervals, but like two people at the same time. Alright, so Brian did come first and then he dropped down, so give Brian a chance. Hello? Hello? Hello, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Not too bad, man. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the nature of God.
Sure.
So, basically, God made us, and God is all good things good. God is pure love. God is the truth.
I didn't hear that other the thing you said before you said pure love.
That's what God is. That's His nature.
Oh, I thought you said something before that. I just didn't hear it properly.
Like all things good.
Oh, you said God is all things good.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got you.
And that's really important to focus on, because some people get that wrong.
What's that?
That God is good and God is loving, and that love is the way towards God. Going towards God is what we want.
Why?
The people
Why?
who are religious, well, we want to go towards love
Why?
because the alternative is inferior.
How? What's the alternative?
It's hate and
I-
darkness.
I don't think that's true. I think the alternative would be indifference.
Yeah, that's darkness.
Not really. It's just it's neither really. But for the sake of the conversation, let's not do that. I'll just hear you out what you have to say fully. Go on.
Or numbness,
Nah, not really.
lack of emotion.
Nah, it's just indifference. It's like yeah, it's not worth it. I made a bad point. Don't worry about it.
Okay. But yeah, so love is superior to indifference. Is
Right.
my point.
Yeah, but why should we just be chasing after love though?
Because
Oh, we've run out.
it's the most powerful thing we can do, and it's what heals other people and what helps people who need help.
I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, love doesn't have the ability to do anything like that. It's really just a concept. You could say helping people and healing people could be done as well without the concept of love. You could do it out of a sense of duty.
Well, duty is one of those things that are that virtuous,
Say again?
and it's a duty is basically you love something enough to rise to the occasion.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I just I know it's like a bad thing to like pull you up on, because like I have no problem with the concept of love at all, but I feel it's dangerous when people think of love. Well, one, they don't really define what they mean by it. That's also a big problem. But the other problem is they feel like it's, well, at least they act like it's this great panacea that just fixes everything, when it's not necessarily true. Throughout history, love has driven people to do terrible things, and it still does till today. So on its own, it's obviously not enough for it to fix the whole world.
And I agree with a lot of the points that you just made, and that's why it's so important to like define what love is and understand what real love is and true love is, and not selfish ambition.
I think it will always ultimately be subjective though. That's the problem, mate. That's the problem of it. So it's just like I said, when I say a panacea, it's like a panacea is a fix all, like a cure all. It's like this one thing will fix everything kind of thing. That's what it means, yeah. And the fact of the matter is, because so many people walk around with different ideas of what love is, how could it ever possibly fix all when like your view is different to his view, different to her view, etc., etc.
Yeah. So then that's where God comes in, because God sent Jesus to show us what real love is.
I mean, that's a belief you hold, but even if that were true, it still doesn't seem to have worked out, does it?
Well, the point of the story of Jesus shows us what true love is, because Jesus loved us so much that he allowed us to sacrifice him, and he suffered for us, and he didn't say, oh, you guys are so annoying.
I'm pretty sure he did. He probably did, but just not in the book. He was probably pretty pissed off. Just like all jokes aside.
He was in anguish, but he wasn't upset with us. He still loved us.
I mean,
But
yeah,
he
that's one
caused us a
take.
lot of pain. But he wasn't like bitter. He wasn't bitter
Fair.
because of the power of
Fair.
love.
Yeah, like to me that just sounds cheesy, bro. With all due respect, like we're probably, well, I don't know who you are, but like we're two grown men. Like the reality is, that's a very cheesy, like empty sentiment to me.
Yeah,
Do you know?
the alternative to this sentiment is indifference and evil. And
No,
hatred.
it's not. It's not, man. I don't have to like think of this like Care Bear type of love to do good things in the world. I don't really, you know. Whether I'm doing a good thing for a friend, a family member, or a complete stranger, it doesn't really have to be this like ultra hippie type of agape thing. Do you know? So you can do good things without like centering it around this view of love.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with love. I just feel like it's being used here as like a blanket term. It's like, you know, it's all peace and love, but again, we look at the reality of how we're actually living, what we're living through. Obviously, if the Jesus story is true, it hasn't worked, has it? because the world has been through crazy things ever since, and still are, and it still is, you know.
Well, that's the next point. That's where love becomes the blanket cure-all, because it's not about this world. It's about the afterlife too,
Ooh.
and the kingdom of heaven.
Oh, wait, I'll hear you out. Go for it.
Jesus loved us so much that he took the punishment that we deserved onto himself, and he made it possible for anybody and everybody to be redeemed and enter the kingdom of heaven and live forever.
Alright. So, it kind of sounds like what you were saying is the bad things are worth it because there's something in the afterlife. Is that what I'm understanding? Or am I just misreading?
Well, the bad things
Reg, I got a
just
convoy of
exist
dupes heading to the scene.
Yeah, might want to steer
because of the
clear
lack
now.
of love.
I don't know if that's true, bro. I mean, look,
Sound like
all I would say is, I don't agree with this view. Put it this way, obviously, I don't think Jesus really died for sins. I don't think that's actually a possibility. I don't even think biblical sins are a possibility. So, like, without it being too much of a, let's dig this whole thing up at its roots and just throw it away kind of thing.
Reg, I got a
I'm
convoy
just
of
saying,
dupes heading
on
to
the surface of what you're saying, it sounds empty, right? It sounds like it should be good, like, you know, what you're supposed to say, but the reality just doesn't match up to that, you know?
sound like you want to steer clear.
Yeah. All right. So
Not my style.
that's another good point. So that brings me to the practicality of love and godly love and what God did for us and what Jesus did for us and how it can impact us in a practical way. And that is, there are many criminals that are doing very evil things, and they think they're probably too far gone, and they think they've done too many evil things, so they might as well just stay evil and keep hurting people.
Reg, I got a convoy of dupes heading to the scene.
Because of the church,
might wanna steer
many of those
clear now.
criminals have realized that their evil ways have left them empty inside and brought them to rock bottom. And those criminals have come to church and realized that there's a different way to go, and that Jesus' love is so deep.
So what about the criminals in the church then?
Those are the worst kind of criminals.
Alright, anyways, look,
Wow.
They should know better.
I'm gonna tie this up here. I appreciate you. I feel like it's the conversation that we're gonna have isn't really centered around what the actual topic is. It's more like you want to tell me about
Drug busters.
your views on Christianity, which is fine. But for me to actually start going at those views individually, it would just be dread at this point because I've been kind enough to let you say them already. Do you know?
Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Alright. So I appreciate you, bro. Let's give someone else a shot.
Wait. We got to the good part.
No, we really didn't.
Criminals in the church.
No, we really didn't.
Talk about the criminals in the church.
No. That's something that you at the church should talk about. I hope that'd be very good if you could do that. But anyways, I appreciate you, bro.
All right.
In a bit.
Adios. Cheers.
Alright, who else was there? Yo. Prayer.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
you
Hey,
saying?
I'll be right back. I'll be right back real quick, alright?
Alright, better be quick,
I ain't gonna
right?
take long.
Also, I'm gonna give someone else a shot. I'm gonna give IKN. I know because.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Sound a little bit far from the mic, though.
My bad. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, how's your day going, bro?
It's okay. It's okay. It's been long, but we're here. How's yours?
That's good. Hey, man, so I got a
Holy
question.
snap! Wait 1 second, bro. Wait, guys, thank you for hitting the like button. I just looked at how many likes there. It's like 402k. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you. I've never seen that many likes on the stream before. Thank you. But yeah, carry on, bro. Sorry about that.
Hey, bro, so this is my question. Like, so do you see the times that you in?
In what way?
Like, you saying it's getting, worse, right?
No, not necessarily. I think
Not
if you
necessary.
look at the trend of humanity, things have been progressively getting better.
So
Chances are there's going to be a lot of
you
people
don't
here.
think all the things that we're seeing in 2026
Wow. Well, hate to
isn't like
interrupt the pep
something
talk, but
new? Like
any
God
luck
is
with that
exposing
first
things. We're
victim on your
seeing things
face
we never
database
seen
thing?
exposed before come to the light.
Yeah, but one could argue we could
Most of the
both
guys
have
are
existed in
suspected of
1970 and said the same thing, or have existed in 1820 and said the same thing, or existed in like 5 AD and said the same thing, bro.
Okay, but this time is different though. We in a time where
Is it?
advanced technology. Yes, bro. We on a far advanced technology world right now, bro.
So that would mean things are getting better then, right?
No, it don't. That means they're using that technology to go against you. They're not
Maybe
using
in
it to
some
be your
ways.
friend.
But who is they though? Who is the they? Let's
I
demystify the
would
they.
say, okay, what I'm trying, and the Lord wants you to figure out who are these people that are the wicked, right?
But
So,
what is the criteria to be wicked though?
go against His commandments.
So does that mean you'd be wicked forever or just temporarily?
No, that if you okay, you know how you put your heart into video games. What's something that you love?
I don't, but I'll take that as an example. Sure,
Okay, you put your heart into it to get better at it, right?
why not?
At anything that you do that motivates you, right?
Yeah,
One is you want to get you trying to strive to be perfect at it
I mean,
and get the.
I don't believe in perfection, but yeah,
Well, I
we would try
know,
to
we
improve
can.
in anything that we
Yeah,
value.
yeah.
Sure.
So these laws help you. I see these laws as something protection over my life, because these laws tell you. Okay, one law is
Perhaps
this.
a type of guidance, maybe.
Yeah, guidance, but I also see
But
it as a protection because
but one could argue that those laws are made by men anyway. So like, men have been coming
man,
up with
nah, I
these
wouldn't.
ways of living for a long time.
I really couldn't say it was made. It was man was given the Holy Spirit. Really? Okay.
Obviously, I don't believe in that. So for me,
Hmm.
like my view doesn't account for that.
So why? Okay, okay. It was. If you think it came from actual just men thinking these laws up, why is it going against the way we want to do them?
I don't think that's true. Give an example of that.
You, say again.
I don't think that's true.
But you said these laws are made up, right?
Not made up as
But
in a sense
okay,
of like they're
so
just silly. Made up in the sense that men thought that these things would be virtuous and these things would be like vices, so we should live according to these rules. And then like they came up with a set of rules that would help people live a better life. I mean, societies have been doing it for a long time since we've reached like civilization from Mesopotamia to Egypt to Greece to the Indus Valley to Far East Asia. Every single civilization have come up with a set of rules. It's just how we're supposed to. It helps us cooperate for survival, basically.
okay. Well, this is something I just want to tell you, bro. Okay, okay. I feel okay. First thing I'm gonna tell you, the law, the Lord's commandments. I see them as a protection on my life because we're in a sinful nature of life, and He has a way of life that He wants us to be holy, and it's like okay, He's protecting me from sexual diseases. If He's saying slow
I
down.
mean, that's kind
Marriage.
of your job to do that. It's kind of your job
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
but a lot of people have got this mindset of this freedom, and
I
more
mean,
people are in a
you
wicked state
you
than a
shouldn't.
righteous state.
All right, so I'd put it to you like this, right? If a God existed and He really did care about your well-being, you should be in a state of freedom. There shouldn't be a restrictive kind of view like that. Now,
And something
so
funny about that,
technically
brother?
there wouldn't be anything wrong with freedom, but there's even like the view of freedom comes with its own positive and negative philosophies as well. So
Well, I'm gonna be real with you, brother. I'm not one of these Christians that's gonna. I'm gonna be real with you. The Lord created good and evil. He
I
has a
wouldn't agree with
side
that.
that's evil to Him, and He has a side that's good to Him, right?
Well, yeah, I guess
And
from a biblical
as
point of
as
view.
I'm seeing, as I like grew up more in my faith, right? I come to understand that we're all in the Lord's will. Because He say He has the deceive and the non-deceive in His hands. So if the Lord wants to deceive you and push you away from Him and not choose you, then He's gonna let you live. He's gonna just let you be wicked.
That's
But
kind
he
of
feel as though
that's kind of
I
strange
know
though.
no, I get it. Yes, our Lord is it's His world though. That's how I'm not. It's
I
His
mean,
world.
so then by that standard, why should you worry about anything then? Because it's going to be him that decides ultimately.
Hold on, say again.
So why should you worry about anything then by that standard? Because it's going to be him that decides ultimately.
Okay.
No, it's
Because
get the
I feel as
conduits,
though
Ace,
well,
and
the
good
way
luck.
I'm learning the Bible, the Lord is waking me up to protect me because it's a time coming. You gonna need protection. You gonna need faith,
Well,
bro.
yeah, like you probably should buy some guns.
Definitely,
Joking.
I got a convoy of dudes.
but understand. Okay,
I want to
ammo
steer
runs
clear
out,
now.
right?
Yeah, sure,
Food runs out, right?
sure,
If the government wants to take away your job, they can take away your job, right?
sure.
This was what's about to happen. And
Yeah.
he called it this was about to happen. Let me
Guess
read
what?
the
Guess
scripture
what
to you
else
real
could run
quick.
out? Your faith could run out too.
Yes, your faith. Yes, you're
Yeah.
very true about that.
Yeah.
But this is the
The books,
thing. If you're
the resources in which you print your books could run out too.
say again.
The resources in which you print your books could run out too. Like unless you're like trying to be like Denzel Washington in like Book of Eli, like
Interrupt this little pep talk, but
you could lose your Bible too.
Hold up, bro.
I'm just playing there, but yeah, I
No.
mean,
That's funny. That's funny that you say that because
looks of the
you
guy
don't
at
see
least
the
would expect
spiritual
a
side of that,
drug
bro.
buster, too.
All the people, all the men in the Bible, right? They had divine protection over them. Cause look, I'm gonna tell you this. This listen to me real quick. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. This is the protection you gonna need. The reason why he tells you to study his word is because he says wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your time. When he tells you
I
to
mean
practice
that
fasting,
sounds good. That sounds like a
I
solid piece
know
of
it sounds
advice.
good. And he said,
But
go
but
ahead.
I would argue that solid piece of advice is something that men would come up with and tell you it.
All right, well, I'm just
Because
here to
that would transcend the views of your religion, wouldn't it? It's just like a good bit of knowledge is timeless. It transcends culture because it's good knowledge.
this knowledge gives me faith, brother. Every time I pray to the Lord, my prayer is an answer, and it's not. And I pray to the Lord. The
Yes,
Lord specifically asks.
that's
Hold on,
good. That's good, but it's also
he asks.
unfortunate at the same time.
When the Lord he asks us an order though. To really get to know the Lord, you have to ask him what his order is. His order is to pray to him to know more of his knowledge. And it'll be real with you to
I
serve
mean,
him
that
because
that's
he's telling
your
you.
interpretation, but I reckon if I spoke to a different type of Christian, they'd have a different type of view.
Yeah, that's them. But
One
look, I'm
one
just
could
here.
argue that when you think you're speaking to God, what you're really doing is just organizing your own thoughts, and it's you that's reflecting back to you.
Okay, well, brother, okay.
Reg, I got a
Well,
convoy
when
of
the
dudes
time
heading to
comes,
sea.
right, when you
I
need
want to
faith,
steer
I
clear
want to
now.
remind you this. And he causes all both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Nice
Prepare
style.
yourself to lose your job, to lose your family, to lose everything if you're not going to get this mark. That's the type of faith you're going to need.
Yeah, I hear that, but the problem is how you might be interpreting that in a modern time. It really isn't healthy.
So you don't think that goes with today when we have the technology
No,
to put a chip inside you?
like you could take that piece of information, right, and interpret it in many different ways, which is one of the biggest problems with religious texts, right? You can interpret that in many ways, but what it might lead you to is falling victim to an apocalyptic type of mind view,
Wow.
which is really what Christianity is about. It's an apocalyptic
Yes,
cult, right?
brother, you're so right because the
But
Lord
that's not a
said,
good thing, bro.
yes, it is.
No.
Because this what
For instance, I'll give you an example, right? You've got one guy who thinks, oh, the world's about to end, right? So why does anything matter? Like, I'm just going to look after me and my people, right? Or better yet, I'm going to go out and do crazy things. Then you've got another guy who thinks, you know what? My personal time on Earth is going to end at some point. So I'm just going to make the most of the personal time. The guy who thinks that the world is going to end is way willing to do worse things than the guy who thinks, you know, I just get one shot of this.
Got
You
any
know?
luck with that
The guy that
first
thinks the
victim
world is
on
going to
your
end
face
thinks he's getting some reward in the afterlife. So he hasn't got any reason to look after this world here. You
The
know?
looks of the guy at least would have expected a
Maybe,
Yes, I
maybe I didn't
understand
explain
this,
that
bro.
properly.
I understand this, brother, because it's funny. Okay, look. I get where you're coming from, but the Lord
Right.
had a specific instruction to his men who truly have faith in him, right? He told us this. He said, prophesy doom against this kingdom, prophesy against the wicked, and that was what we was put here to do. Now maybe you was
I
put
did. I
in,
disagree.
enjoy this life. But if everything is in His will, though,
I
this
mean,
is
but right. So just to be clear, right, everything that you're telling me is skewed by your belief system already. So me being someone outside of your belief system, like in the nicest possible way, to me, it sounds like delusion. You know?
okay.
It sounds like you subscribe to something that is mostly delusional, or
Okay.
right, what I would give a charitable view is that these things are written in metaphor and allegory. You're supposed to take lessons out from it, but not subscribe to it as if it is actually concrete, like a concrete reality. Right? That's the way I would see it. But obviously, to you, you think it's an actual reality,
Reg, I got a contact.
and all I can say is like the way the world actually is doesn't really correlate with what the Bible's foundation is. All of the magical stuff, the spiritual stuff, you know, those things aren't found in the reality. Those things are found in people's belief systems and in fictional books.
Well, brother, can look. So I get where you're coming from. I'm not even here to try to convert you to my religion or none of that.
Oh,
I'm
you
really
you
just here to
couldn't,
give you
but
a warning. That's it. I'm not even. I'm trying to help you out. When you,
I mean,
you won't remember this day. I'm telling you. Let me
I
read
would
it
say
to you real
I
quick.
would say that's quite offensive for many
Let me read
reasons.
this
Right?
to you real quick.
Sure.
This was going to help me, brother. I'm telling
Then
you
I'll
right here.
explain to you why it's offensive.
The guy at least would expect
Go
All
on.
right.
drug buster too.
And the Lord said to him, He's commanding His angels, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So the Lord is setting a mark, a spiritual mark on these men to be protected when chaos breaks out in the world. Go you after him through the city and smite. So our Lord has the judgment side to him. Yes, our Lord will kill you. He will kill women and children
Oh, bro,
and men.
language.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let not your eyes spare, neither have you pity. Slay utterly. I can't. This is in the Bible. I'm not gonna say it on your stream. But
Just
it's talking
just
about.
like dampen it down. Just use like some other term if you can.
But come not near a man upon who is the mark. So he's telling when he puts the wicked. Okay, when he's ready to judge this world for their wickedness for not turning to him, in his will, I'm gonna be real with you, he's gonna push people to be the most wickedest they can to get rid of them.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense from a God's perspective. Well, that wouldn't make any sense. But sure, since you believe that, that's fine, right? But in terms of what you're saying about giving me a warning, right? There's various different levels of like disrespect in that. Right? What you're doing is obviously, so I give you the grace of realizing you actually believe this to be true, which is for its own reasons problematic. But that being said, since you do actually believe this to be true, you're operating from a very ego-centered place, right? I mean, which is to say, you intend to, like, in a very imperialistic fashion, project your views, your world onto the rest of the world. And if the rest of the world doesn't capitulate, it's within your rights now, your God-given rights, to enact whatever kind of punishment or like persecutions you see fit. That's not a good way to interact with your fellow man or the earth itself. In fact, that is ultra destructive. You realize that, right?
It's not to me.
Of course it's not to you, right? Of course it's
No,
not to you,
I'm not
because
really worried about it,
you're
like-
within the ideology, right? But from someone outside looking in, right, we can see how destructive that might end up playing out. So is a certain thing to say, like, right, so let's just say
I want to steer clear of them.
if you were just my neighbor or something, right, and I was like, oh, you know, I seen this like shaky looking guy moving around outside the house, right, just letting you know he's out there. That's a certain type of warning, right? But
You
then,
think that's how I act?
hey,
Is that how you? Is that?
no,
you
I'm
think
just
how
I'm
I
just
act?
I'm just trying to come up with a metaphor on the fly just to like help you understand what I'm trying to say. There's a difference between that kind of warning, like I'm trying to warn you like in general because we're both in danger kind of thing, and then there's a type of warning that I give to you if I'm going to do what's called racketeering. It's like, you know, I send a couple of guys, like we're in a little mob hierarchy, I send a couple of guys to your store and they're like, you know, if you don't pay up, things might go missing, things might break, you know. So in a sense, it's not actually a warning, it's a threat. saying if you don't capitulate to this worldview and this like invisible God, which is like a mob boss, then bad things are going to happen to you. And in fact, not only are bad things going to happen to you, I'm going to help those bad things happen to you. Essentially, that's kind of what you're saying when you speak like that, right?
So
And
you think
through
I'm
that
adding, oh,
through that
well,
view, you
that's
you will
funny.
justify
Go.
through that same view, you will justify both doing atrocities and watching atrocities play out, because to you it fits into this overarching narrative, rather than actually stepping in where your humanity requires you to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense because the Lord even said He's going to give His 12 elect men the power to take out the wicked. He's going to let us help them do that.
Well, boy, if you find that funny for some reason, I can't really get too deep into that. But it's been nice speaking to you, bro. I
Nice
would
meeting you.
I would, I would say only thing, if I could like offer some like friendly advice, just beware of getting too I don't want to say this disrespectfully, but too dragged into a cult where you're around a group of people who think exactly the same as you and allow for the exact same type of things, right? And same so to be said, your kind of view is not, there's not nothing wrong with having certain types of militant views, but to me it sounds like you're leaning more towards a destructive type of view and interpretation of the Bible. That's to me, right? And like to me, it's laughable in a deeper way because it sounds like you're a black person, which
Yeah, I'm black.
yeah. So I'm not gonna actually get into that tonight, but from my point of view, there's no way that a black person should be talking like that on behalf of that book, right? But we'll do that another time.
The same. Okay, can I just? I'm a. All right. There's three more. Do you believe in reincarnation?
No,
The Bible speaks about reincarnation, but I'm not gonna get into that. Do you believe? Okay. The same man that was put on the cross for us went through the same pain as our ancestors did as
no,
we going
bro.
through right
Hey,
now.
no, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that,
Didn't
bro.
he?
Don't do
He
that,
didn't
bro.
get. So he
Don't
didn't.
do that,
He
bro.
wasn't. Do you know? Hold on. What about
Brother,
this though?
don't do that, bro. You know the current climate we live in as well. You see the posts, right? Jesus didn't suffer as much as the slaves. You know, don't do that, bro.
Hold up. Hold up.
Don't do that.
Hold up.
It's
What
like
about the
what you're about
prophets?
to do. What you're about to do is called apologetics, right? And slavery
What about
apologetics
the
too.
prophets?
Don't do that, bro. So I'm gonna let you go.
These brothers was freedom fighters, but they died for the truth.
No, bro. That's
they
not
went
even
through
that. That's actually not even historically accurate either.
Oh
But
my
that's
gosh, these brothers
that's
died
for
for the
another
truth.
time,
These
brother.
brothers,
I'm gonna let someone else come up now, right?
you,
So I
I hope,
appreciate
just
you.
be ready, brother. Just be ready.
I appreciate you, right? But
All
remember
right,
what I said, all right?
love you, bro. Be
All right.
safe.
Appreciate you, bro.
Reg, I got a convoy of dupes heading to the scene.
All right.
I want to steer clear of them.
Hey, IKN.
Hello.
What's
Hey,
up?
you hear me?
Yeah, I get you, bro.
Hey, man. I just wanted to say, bro, I'm on your side, but you don't mind if I have like maybe 3-4 minutes here?
Go shoot.
So, like, to all the Christians, right? I was raised Christian, so I genuinely I don't have anything wrong about
Chances are there's gonna be
what's
a lot of
preached when it comes to
with ships to kill
respecting everybody,
Well,
giving
we can
them
run
love
this
and
little
stuff.
test
But I
talk,
think
but
in a
you got any luck
in a
with that
broader
first
like
victim on your
in a
face
broader
database
view though,
thing?
you really have to look at it in like a lot of these people, they only believe in God because they're afraid of a hell, right? Like
I would agree.
they're damned to eternity in hell. When you look at it, right? All the Bible, like there's no truth to it. A man named Jonah survived in a whale for 3 days. That's not realistic. Noah's Ark, 2 animals on a ship together, so you don't think the chickens would be eaten by a tiger or something? That's not
Of course.
realistic. I could keep going down the list. God is not all loving. He killed 2 million people. Satan only killed 10 while he was instructed by God to do so, but apparently he's the bad guy, right?
No
If
comment.
you also look at
Yeah.
it, we share around 80%. I think it is 80. It's 84 maybe percent of DNA with chimpanzees. That means we relate more to them than any other animal on Earth. We also have a tailbone, so it explains a lot as to we were animals before Homo sapiens. humans have been around for, I think it was like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was around 6 to 7 million years, different species of humans before us, of course, right?
I don't actually know.
Um,
I don't know the actual timeline. No,
I'm
I think
I'm
we
pretty sure.
roughly are like 300,000 years, but then some
Yeah,
distant relatives
exactly.
could go back that far.
That's what I'm saying, right? The
So I don't
Bible was
really
made
know.
what, 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Same with the Quran, same with the Torah. Like a lot of these religious books were made X amount of years ago, right?
Hmm.
Another thing I'll mention is I think I think the whole idea of the Bible is very how do I explain it? Like selfish in a way, right? Because
You say
say
selfish?
yeah,
Yeah.
say there's three of us in a room, right? And he told one person, say there was this God, right? And this God told one person, write this Bible for me, but tell these two other guys to believe in this, to
Yeah.
believe in what I told you, right? So it doesn't make sense at all. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there's
for real.
completely an invalid take on the Bible. Like, I
Creates that
wouldn't believe that.
that like chosen one syndrome type of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like
Allows for
it's
big
just
problems.
yeah, that's extremely inhumane to me. You know, it's just it's very unlogical. It doesn't, there's a lot of stuff that adds up. At the end of the day, like what I really believe is, I think a lot what they say in the Bible, like a lot what's preached. I think a lot of it is positive things.
Yeah,
Don't
I would agree.
don't do this to your fellow man or woman. Don't hurt nobody. Don't steal. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But then it comes into like where these people get like almost schizoid, man. They feel like, like they gotta do this or they're gonna go to some eternity in hell, right? Like it's
Yeah.
genuinely crazy to me.
I often
Um,
think the people who cooked up the various versions of the Bible or the various doctrines that surround the Bible had like a very sophisticated understanding of human psychology and nature. That's how it's managed
yeah,
to grab a hold of people in such a serious way.
that's what I think too. Honestly, I
So,
really
so
I
I give
really
them their
believe that
props in
too.
that way.
Yeah,
Boys, I
I
got a
mean,
convoy
a
of
lot
dudes
of
heading
like
to the scene.
what I've been in this live for 30 minutes, and I've always like scrolled through the live. I've maybe watched like 10, 15 minutes, and every
Eh.
time, bro, it's circular reasoning. It's always circular reasoning. It comes from a book. There's nothing outside of it, right? But whenever you just like, to all these people that are real religious, they just gotta sit down one day, get in their head, and realize like, do some research. We share 84% of DNA with chimpanzees. Like that's enough to tell me like, damn, we're just animals. We're not a divine creation.
Shoot, I would say
Um,
even if we didn't share DNA with animals, we should still consider ourselves as a part of
Any
this
luck
whole
with that
natural
first victim
ecosystem
on your
too.
face database
Not
thing?
that's
like
what I'm
we're
saying,
some
right? I mean,
we're afforded
yeah,
some
exactly.
special kind of wall or
Think I
something.
at least would have expected
Our,
a drug bust.
every animal has an ability, right? Like armadillos, they have armor. Porcupines, they have spikes. Our ability is our brains, and I think that's what's destroyed us as a
That's a
humanity.
dope way of looking at it, bro. That is
Yeah,
a
that's
dope
what
way
I'm
of looking
saying.
at it.
I genuinely think that's what kind of destroyed us as a humanity, though, is we got too much in our heads and we put these laws in place that, like, we shouldn't do this and that. But you go back, 50,000 years ago, everybody was doing like crazy stuff. I'm not going to get into that because we're on live, but you know what I mean, right? Like,
No, yeah, I think the
doing
laws and
stuff.
stuff are valuable. It's just a matter of how you enforce these laws or how ridiculous you start to get with the laws. 'Cause that's kind of the
Yeah.
problem. That old saying, was it absolute power corrupts absolutely? So that kind of
Uh,
thing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree, honestly. Like, it's just, uh, it, how do I explain it? Like, everybody who's joined the live in the past 30 minutes and been on here, like the two dudes,
Yep.
it was all circular reasoning, and they were talking about societal creations, right? Like, oh, there's, a chip gonna be implemented in your head and this and that. I'm like, in
Yeah,
my mind, bro,
I
that's
did want to
purely
go
our
more into
humans.
that, but just like during
Yeah,
because it's been such a long day, I haven't really got the
dude, that's what
yeah.
I'm
I
saying.
just don't really feel like
It's
going too deep
really,
into it.
yeah, it's a schizoid view, honestly. Like it's genuinely crazy to me. I don't get how, like, I hear a lot of these people, like I had this conversation at work, with these two girls, and they asked me, they were like, you believe in God? Like, hell no. Um, they were like, why? I was like, it's an unlogical thing. And I started listing off like a lot of things to do with the Bible or Noah's Ark, like a lot of this stuff. And I've read like a lot of the Bible because I wanted to be proved wrong. Like that was my interest, you know. I love being proved wrong.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
I
nothing wrong with
read
that.
stuck out to me, like in a logical standpoint. You really think about it, just
I mean,
it
yeah,
makes sense to
at
me.
least like where the supernatural things are concerned, like there's no reason to take the supernatural things as like a reality. So like there's obviously, as far as the book goes, there's going to be things that are worth keeping with you, like knowledge wise. Like it would be true whether an Egyptian wrote it, a Muslim wrote it, a Christian wrote it, a deist, an atheist wrote it. It would ring true either way. Those kinds of things are going to be valuable. But like the supernatural claims and the things that people actually hang their hat on within their belief system, those are the things that tend to be the most
That's what I'm
destructive.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like there's always violence that comes out of religion. That's the thing. You
Yeah,
know, there's been constant fights. It's always religions versus religions or religions against non-religions. It's, you know, and most of the things that are said in the Bible are just supernatural things, like things that wouldn't happen today, really, right? Like it wouldn't even
probably didn't even happen then.
especially, but it wouldn't happen today. Yeah, that's what I'm
Probably
saying,
didn't even happen
right?
then.
And especially not today. You know, if God was genuinely so loving, why would He give us an ultimatum of going to hell or heaven?
Yeah,
Not
that was
revealing
kind of
Himself.
one of the concerning things about what the previous caller was saying as well. It's like
That's what I'm
it wouldn't
saying,
even really
right?
make
Like,
sense from a God's perspective. I know like people that like that makes them kind of scared, like, oh, you shouldn't really be thinking from God's perspective. But hey, if the God figure in the book is functioning anthropomorphically, then yes, like it's not only should we be thinking like God, but God's low key actually thinking like us. So it wouldn't make
yeah,
sense.
I agree. I agree. Another thing, I had this conversation with this dude like a while back. It was a pretty deep one, but he was talking about you know, he's atheist as well, but he was saying that he believes Jesus was like he found God within himself, like how most people you could go on to say like you could find God within yourself if God is real, but there is no God. We didn't create ourselves, you know. Realistically, we were formed from fishes, you know, from bacteria to fishes to monkeys than to humans, right? Like there's a whole evolution. There's more evidence when it comes to evolution than there is religion, you
Yes, for
know?
sure,
And that's the thing.
for
That's the
sure.
thing. People
But listen,
don't want to
bro.
accept it.
But listen, bro. I appreciate you. I don't usually have
Yeah, I got you.
I usually don't usually have
That's what I'm
friendlies up,
saying.
but
Yeah.
I did give you a chance since I
Yeah,
accepted. Yeah.
that's why I asked just a few minutes. Yeah.
All right.
Bye,
So
bro. I
it's
appreciate
nice
it.
talking to you, bro. Appreciate
You
it.
too.
Take care.
All right, see you.
All right. Hubert. Hubert.
What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, good. Hey, yeah, so, we agreed probably on all that stuff, the history of religion and how it was used to, try to explain what we didn't know. We had paganism, throughout different civilizations. And, it you needed a group of people to survive, to believe in a singular, all have the same kind of basis for morality and everything. So everyone was, on board and with, the program. And, we know that there's some truth to some things, there's some not. But the way that we have religion now, we can kind of see how that's all played out through different religions, different civilizations in the past. But I say that to say this. I do want to ask, would you consider yourself kind of more agnostic or more of an atheist? I guess I would ask you.
So on the question of gods, as I understand them, I would be atheist.
Okay. So that's completely fine. So the reason, and I'm not going to stay long, I just wanted to put in my 2 cents.
No worries.
Because, we would use that, a religion to kind of explain what we didn't know. Right now,
Well, I think
there's
religion's
still-
like secondary, of course, to a god. Like it's like a subset of God beliefs.
Right, okay. So right now we still have a ton that we don't understand or don't yet understand. There's still a lot of debates on even just human consciousness, what that means. There's some, strange things that still can't be explained with that. And just, basic highest level, what is the universe? How did it come to be? Quantum mechanics, we still don't understand. So there could be something that, is responsible for, some of the things that we still can't explain. Is it in the form of, like a God or gods that are from, modern history or current that we, and I don't believe that's the case, but there could be something out there that
Well,
would
what I would
make
say
sense
is,
that we still
what I would say is, yes, I agree. There could be something out there. There's an unknown amount of unknowns out there for sure. But the problem what will come about is people would do what's called God of the gaps, right? They'll say, oh, humanity's reached this limit in knowledge, so whatever's beyond this limit in knowledge is God. And that's kind of what is continuously happening. Like, when I say humans invented God, it's what's called an explanatory claim. So it explains what gods are, how we came up with them, why we came up with them, and in some instances, when and where. Knowing what we know historically, that naturalistic explanation for what gods are and how they actually serve humans makes enough sense to be able to say it right. There's no reason to think these things would exist independently of us. So if there is to be something out there unknown that might be powerful enough to make a universe, or us even, right, I'd say let's just figure out what that is and not try and make that thing God too, because God's just a concept we're walking around within our back pocket, and we shape it and mold it any way we see fit. And if we do that for everything, then we don't actually get to understand the thing we're interacting with, because we want it to be something else that it's not.
I completely agree with what you're saying. It's kind of like having a conclusion already and trying to prove your view
Right.
correct. And then they kind of, and do this, and yeah, like the last guy said, it's all circular. It doesn't really get to the point of, all right, well, what is it? Where did it come from? Is it true? Is it not true? We all believe different things, and a lot of it is, they want to believe in that, or,
For sure. But where do you
couldn't
stand?
explain something.
Where do you stand?
Well, I was raised Christian, I guess, not super, not Catholic or anything strict, but I was always questioning everything. I was like that annoying kid, like, oh, that's not Santa Claus, it's my Uncle Rudy, he's wearing the same watch, and I was always trying to call BS, even, I guess, before I even knew what that meant. So, anyone that's questioning or trying to poke holes, a lot of these holes, they can't explain, and there's a reason for it. It's because it's not a foolproof concept. So I just wanted to hop in and say, there are still things that we don't know. There
Of course.
could be some type of, I don't know what you would call it, deity or origin or something above. We don't know. But how it is perceived by a lot of people now, I don't think that's the case. I mean, I think we've kind of evolved to a point where we understand, like, oh, hey, all these different people have all these different religions, all these different gods, all these different rules. And it has been the case, going way back in time. So, I'm on board with you, but I just want to hop in and just say, we can't discount the fact that there are things that we still don't know, we still can't explain. So there may be something. Not saying there is, there could be something, but we don't know that yet. We might not ever know. So
Fairs, bro, fairs. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming up, man. Take care.
okay.
Alright, so anyone else want to jump up? I think my controller's bugging out. Yeah, and I obviously quite apparently changed the game. But I might actually change it back now, considering how poorly I'm playing. So, why don't you come up and speak to me about it, John? I think you're going crazy in the chat. Just come up, bro. Sorry, Red App guys. What's up, Cloud? What's up, Max? What's up, Jamian? What's up, Erland? What's up, Captain? What's up, Fayaz? Who's up in there? Who's been there the longest? What's up, Tate? What's up, Hubert? What's up, IKN? John, Nomad King, Shifty, Actual, LNS, Mike, Aaron, Script, Nolan, Naj, me, Grand, Zero, Crystal Lab. What's up? Alright, so I'm saying humans invented God. Change my mind. My position on it is this: all known gods are psychological constructs, do not exist independently of the mind. If your God requires belief, imagination, or faith to interact with, it's functionally non-existent. It requires somebody devise a concept of God, impart it to you for you to interact with, or you yourself have to come up with a concept of God. As far as I understand it, there's never been evidence of gods existing independently of humans. Every type of God concept you've ever heard of came from the mind of a human. So, on that very simplistic view, I've got no reason to think gods exist outside of us. They're just things that we invented for explanatory power. What's up, Nobad? I don't know. You can come up and tell me about it, but I don't know if I'm initially convinced. I'm one of those people that say, yeah, like, I will allow for possibility, but then I want to hear more information to reduce it to a probability, and then likely, and then, concrete. If it doesn't even get down to like a good probability, then there's like no good reason for me to even begin to believe in it. That's kind of how I am. Come up, Shifty. Hit that hit the 2-man button. Oh, I didn't even buff. Oh, what? He's hitting me in the back. Bloody hell. Can't mic at the minute. Why? What's happened? I don't think that's true, Aaron. I think personally, when people point to the existence of humans and the universe as proof of God, I feel like they use those things because they're so big and unknown currently. Well, the existence of our planet and us is quite well substantiated, quite well answered scientifically, to be fair. So really and truly, they've got no reason to say that. But that being said, I feel like people point to those massive questions because they don't have any like solid, concrete proof of God existence. They just look around and say, "Oh, everything's because of God," It's kind of lazy from my point of view. Lazy as this fight. Here it comes. He's charging up, boy. There you go, Commander. Bite. Bite. I don't know if there is such a thing as a beginning of time. I know like some people will say, yeah, logically time has to have a beginning and it has to have an end, but I mean, I don't know for certain. I don't understand everything. How can I? And I'm in one of those moods today where I don't feel like being too harsh about it either. It's quasi-optimistic. So yeah, feel free to request up if you want to talk about it, or you could just talk to me in the chat. Yeah, definitely. Gi Chain Gang, they definitely find the soothing, but is it right though? Is the comfortable lie worth it? Is what we have to start asking ourselves. And not only like, alright, so if it was just that alone. There's like individual things that make up this religious worldview that would be fine on their own, right? But when you put them together and then you send people out into the world with them, all kinds of crazy things happen behind that, there's no way to know if you had a supernatural encounter to run boot. How would anyone know if they had a supernatural encounter? It's supernatural. I can't remember where that piece was. There should be a piece for an elevator somewhere. Or maybe we got it when we beat him. Alright, we're close to the... Oh, there is. Alright, let's go back to the lake. We're close to the DLC. Oh man, I got blood on my nose. Snotty too snotty, boy. So what we got? 31 people in here. We got 4 reposts. Can we get some more reposts so we can get some people to come up so you can see the stream? I would like actually to talk more about the main topic. So far, the conversations we've had, it's been more about people telling me about their religious views than actually addressing the topic. I'd be interested in if people would like to actually address the topic, although I allow for the conversation to go in any way it needs to go. It would be cool to actually talk about that topic at hand. Right, that village I think was it the... We'll start here. I think that village is up there. So yeah, like I said, how do you know you have a supernatural encounter? How would you know? Like, to say like something happens that you can't explain doesn't mean it's unexplainable. It just means you don't currently have the capability to explain it. That's kind of the problem. Sure, like some of the technology that exists today, if someone was just to show you some of the stuff, it would be like magic. So there's that old saying, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So how would you know? Hello?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How you doing?
Not too bad. I see you requested before, but you left.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of busy right now.
Fair play.
Actually, yeah. But interesting question. To be honest, I feel like the way that I feel like it kind of being disingenuous the way that you're approaching this.
Why is
It's fair
that?
to say that. Because, like, I guess the question, like, humans invented God, changed my mind. I feel like it's kind of hard to tell either way, because even the evolution or abiogenesis, like, there's, like, no good evidence on that side, too. So,
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
that doesn't necessarily
realistic-
address what's been said, though.
No, I know. So that's why I feel like it's not even a fair fight, because it's hard to prove that God does exist, and it just as it's hard to prove that we came from single cell organisms. Both sides, it's tough. It's a tough fight.
Excuse
Either
me.
way.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm being disingenuous, though. So I'm trying to understand what you meant by that.
Okay. How about this? What if I say try to prove that we came from single cell organisms, and I asked you that? Like, how would you go about proving that?
Well, obviously, I'd start looking into the sciences to see what they have to say about it.
And what do the science say about it? Like, I've looked into this, and I mean, there's literally zero evidence from like.
I don't know about that, bro. Now, me personally, I'm not someone that goes deep into research about evolution and all those kinds of things. Although I hold it to be true, right, I would say what you're saying is disingenuous. Just from, like, based on the fact that I went to a natural history museum and literally walked through the whole bloody I forget what they call them. Like they literally bring you through the whole history of the life on the planet and the various different artifacts and fossils and stuff. So there's plenty of evidence out there. So to say there's no evidence of evolution is ignorant, really.
No. I'm talking about abiogenesis. That's
Oh,
different from
abiogenesis.
evolution.
Yeah. So that's a
Evolution-
scientific theory, right?
Exists. Yeah, evolution exists. Like, I mean, we see evolution, right? Like, but abio, from going from single cell organism all the way to like organisms with trillions of cells.
Yeah.
That,
But look
you
at the natural world, right? Whether me and you can fully comprehend it or not, it makes more sense that we came from some single cell and evolved based on us just being matter and an arrangement of matter than some supernatural creature speaking everything into existence. One is way more supportable than the other one.
No. That's where I would disagree with you because we have evidence. Okay, we have evidence of this guy named Jesus Christ.
No,
Even
bro.
during that time,
The,
Dude,
the
we have
Jesus
so
the
much
Jesus
evidence.
Christ character doesn't correlate to the making of the world. Jesus Christ exists within a religion, bro.
I agree with you. It doesn't. So here's my take. Okay, I've looked at both sides. I just think it's more probable to believe in what this dude is saying that came down like 2000. I mean, it's
How?
2026.
Explain
It's
why it would be
okay,
more probable.
okay, because it's 2026.
You're really not implying the calendar.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying primarily because this dude lived, what, 2026 years ago. That's when he died, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, it's just let me build up this case, right? So that just tells me that this dude was so significant. Like, I mean,
So what you saying? The guy was popular, so that's your reason for believing. Is that what you're saying right now?
bro, I know, but I'm just starting.
That
there.
is
I'm just kinda,
crazy work.
building my case. Bro, you gotta let me build my case.
A
I'm
lot
just
of people
saying
like
that's
this.
just like an
Must be true.
indicator. God, no, bro. Hey, I'm just saying it's a hard way either way. Okay, I agree with you. It's kind of tough. Either way you look at it, but I'm just saying there's more evidence just because this dude was
No,
very
bro.
popular.
No, bro.
And some of
That's
the
that.
things
That doesn't
bro,
even
they-
begin to compare to abiogenesis as evidence or evolution's
bro,
evidence.
bro,
It doesn't even
look,
begin to compare.
no, bro. Look into abiogenesis, bro. I hope you look into it with an honest look, dude.
I will try to. Right, my TikTok's a bit
It's
crashed, so I can't actually get things up on the screen.
insane, dude. It's insane. I think like 2 weeks ago I was doing like deep research into it. Like,
So
I'm not,
you
like,
realize there's been
bro.
experiments done behind it, right?
Yeah, I realize it.
Yeah.
And bro,
So
the
even though they
experts
haven't
will tell
arrived
you
at it
that-
yet, it still seems to be a way more substantial idea than a guy, or let's not even say a guy, an immaterial spirit speaking things into existence, bro. One is supportable.
Bro,
One
there
isn't
were
even
people-
falsifiable. Hey,
Bro, there were people that claimed that this dude died and came back from the
yeah,
dead.
who cares
That's
what they
never
claim? It's what we can know. There's not actually evidence
I
of
know,
that.
but people.
There's evidence of this.
Like, dude, okay. How many
Alright,
people have
one second.
claimed
Hey, bro,
that-
listen. 1 second. I think I might have to restart the app. So just give me a second. Alright, it's gonna do that little spinning thing. But I'm still here. Alright. Everyone, just on the TikTok side, just hang tight. Hopefully it doesn't end the stream, but it's a bit crashed, so I need to do something about it. I don't know why this app's so terrible. 1 sec. YouTube gang! How'd you feel about what this guy is saying? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Even to continue the live, it's going all buggy. Yo, HG, you still there, bro?
What's up?
You can hear me? Yeah, sorry about that. I had to restart the app. Right, yeah, so what was we talking about? You were saying, like, evidence for Jesus existing is better than evidence for abiogenesis.
I mean, okay, that's just kind of my conclusion. That's where I'm at right now. Like, to
Yeah.
be honest, I'm not gonna.
But the
say,
thing
like,
is, you could say
no,
Jesus existed and there's evidence that he existed, but that still doesn't explain how the world or the universe came to be.
but see,
A man
I
claiming
just
to
think
be
he-
God
I-
doesn't
I
mean
just
he
don't
is
think
God.
He existed.
Right? And
Yeah,
that's, for the
see,
people who
that's-
don't know, that's what abiogenesis means. It's on the screen.
So yeah, no, I believe he existed, and I do believe that he died, and I do believe that he rose up. So that,
Yeah.
there's a little bit more to it.
Those are your
I wouldn't
beliefs.
just believe in him. Yeah, I know, but I think that's more probable. I know. It's
How-
kind of a
how?
broad claim because
How is that more probable? It's like that's like a really childish take. Not even being rude, you know.
No, dude, it's tough because, dude, with Genesis, bro, like, we have zero evidence.
So
Like, they've tried
here's the
this
thing,
multiple.
right?
Okay.
Even if Jesus existed and he did something magic, that still doesn't support how the universe and humans came to be. We can only find out the latter, right? How the universe and humans came to be by researching the natural universe, not believing things written in a book.
I
We
agree
would
with
actually
you.
have to
See,
research the
I'm not.
natural universe to find out if what's written in the book is even true too.
I 100% agree with you, see, but like, see, I'm just not trying to. I guess where I'm at is I'm not trying to prove or disprove like how the Earth came to be. I'm just trying to see if there's any like credibility to this like, religious thing. That's what.
I
That's
don't think
kind of why I
I don't
research
think there actually is though
both
like
sides.
that. Not from a supernatural level. As I said, right, there's no good evidence for Jesus actually being resurrected. There's no good evidence for him being born special. There's no good evidence for him being a part of God or God's son. No good evidence for the miracles he did. Right. In fact, like you've got people who are called mythicists who have gone through the history
Do have
and
recent.
demonstrated that there's a separation between a guy called Yahshua, a Jewish priest, and the Jesus Christ myth that we read about in the Bible. There's a separation between a real person and this magical man. The real person is substantial, like you're able to prove that guy existed in some capacity, but the magic man, you're not able to prove any of the magic things, so it doesn't make him anything more than a man. That's the problem.
I see what you're saying. Yes, we can prove that Jesus, the man, the physical man, existed. But so some of this, what you call magic stuff or miracles, yes, we can't prove. Like, we haven't
So
seen it.
so
It
that
doesn't
so
just
does that
naturally
so
happen.
does that raise the probability of it versus what we can actually test, what we can go digging for, what we can theorize,
What
what we can
I'll say.
hypothesize? How does that raise the probability if it's just a belief?
Here's what I'll say. Even with science, like I think even with science, the way that it, where we're at, our understanding of it today, like, I don't know if you've looked into like the different dimensions. I do believe that there may be a lot more to science that we don't understand
Of course there is.
in this day, and
Of course there is. There's
we
no
may
denying
see it
that.
as a miracle, right? Like,
No, it's
we
not a
may-
miracle,
some
brother.
things- No. Let me finish. I feel like, I guess my mom always used to say this, that
We're in
like
the wrong place.
science that, like miracles is just science that we don't understand, right? Like I feel like there's some truth to that. I feel
Well,
like,
yeah, but I mean, you have to be very clear on the definition of miracle because a lot of people think like mundane, typical, natural things are miracles. So you have to be clear on that. Like,
Okay, yeah.
when I use the word
I
miracle,
agree with you.
I mean something that breaks the laws of nature done with divine intervention. It's like people who think childbirth is a miracle, or like waking up in the morning is a miracle, or like catching a big fish is a miracle, or like surviving a car crash is a miracle. Like, no, those things aren't miracles.
Yeah, I know, I agree with you, but I feel like, but they are genuine miracles though, where it's
No.
like something happened. Yes,
They aren't.
I do believe that.
Brother, they
I
aren't.
do believe.
By a standard
I'll
definition,
disagree.
by a standard definition, right, that should transcend religion and culture, e.g., something that breaks
Dude,
natural
there's-
laws.
Dude, there's so many cases of where like someone's supposed to die, patient's supposed to die. The doctor
Yes,
goes in there and
these
like,
things
yeah,
aren't
bro, you only
miracles.
have like, bro, but according to the
Yeah,
information
they're
and
subjective.
experts
That's
saying-
what I just explained, right?
But that's not like
The-
me
the
or you
only-
saying that this person should die. That's like a doctor that
Yes,
has
yes, that's.
experienced
But it's
so
still
many of these
happening in
cases
the
saying,
natural world, bro. That's not a. It's not like a.
I
a world-breaking
understand, but I feel
thing.
like that, it's not, but it blurs the line a little bit. Like,
It shouldn't,
so
though.
this expert is, bro. I will
shouldn't.
disagree with that.
All right, so ask yourself this, right? Why don't Muslims take Catholic miracles to be miracles of gods? Why don't Catholics take Muslim miracles to be miracles of gods? Why don't Hindus take, Jewish miracles to be miracles of gods, and vice versa? These things are culturally relative to the group and their beliefs that they already hold, bro. So if you use a definition that transcends the religious like individuals in the religion, like I just said, like getting breakfast before it all ran out was a miracle, you know, like having a son when I wanted a son was a miracle, you know, like all of these kinds of things. Individuals can say this is subjectively a miracle, but if you get an objective definition for a miracle, then you could set about looking to see if it really happens or not, you know?
I will say that there are things in the natural world that do happen that we don't have answers for, right? And we try to answer them with science. I do believe that.
That doesn't make them a miracle though, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, but it does not also not make it a miracle.
Yes, it does, right? If the definition of a miracle is something that breaks the natural laws and is done with divine intervention, then we know that hasn't happened yet. But the irony is, if something happens that departs from the natural laws, because the natural laws are descriptive, it now becomes something that happens in our natural world. All that would be left to do is to prove that there was a divine intent behind it. Right? And that hasn't been done yet. Seriously.
Do you just believe that? Do you just believe that the laws of nature they just happen randomly? Like this order was just random. Like
No, I don't
these
necessarily
laws
think
of
it's
nature-
random. No, I don't. Right? I think put it this way, what we call the laws of nature are anthropomorphic descriptions about the universe. Like, so what we think gravity is, you know, what we think the electromagnetic spectrum is, those are things that we've described using our human intellect. It doesn't necessarily mean they really function in the way we're describing them. So by that kind of view, right, I don't take them to be like random or magical in that way. I just take them to be something that humans are trying to get an understanding of. Do you know? So I can't say with certainty how or why they come about. We're just describing the effects and how they work. That's all we're doing.
That's fair, but wouldn't that make it more probable that there is like a lawgiver though?
No,
Because we're trying to understand.
no.
I mean, it's a hard thing to try to understand the origin, right? We can only like understand a little bit.
So what you might
I
be
feel like this
misunderstanding when you say lawgiver is like the laws of the universe aren't laws that someone commands. They're laws that you describe, and we call them laws because they're consistent, right? But the minute something happens that's not consistent, that now becomes a possibility. And if it happens again, then it's now part of the law kind of thing, right? The type of laws that someone commands are prescriptive laws, and you only really find those laws amongst humans and human societies, you know, like thou shalt not kill, you know, thou shalt not steal, XYZ. Those are prescriptive laws, right? So that those laws have a lawgiver. The laws of the universe are just descriptions, right? It was a bad idea to call them laws, and scientists have stopped doing that, but they're not lawgiver type of laws. Right? So you have to understand
I
that.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying on that. Okay. I just feel like on the supernatural thing too. I just feel like it's one of those things that you kind of have to experience to kind of live in. You know.
So how would you know you had a supernatural experience?
You wouldn't. Okay. I guess the way that I would know is because it's supernatural. It's out of the ordinary. It's I can't really I can't come up with an explanation of why that happened.
So say like,
Based on,
so for instance, right, to like, I'll give you like a silly scenario, but just before I say that, right, just because you or I can't explain something doesn't mean it's unexplainable. Can we agree on that?
100%.
Right, fair. Right, so we're limited individually as we live in this world. We don't know everything. There's lots to know. But for the silly example now, imagine there's like a different type of species in space. We'd call them aliens, right? And they've produced some type of technology to us that would just be like incredibly crazy. But they shoot us with like a tractor beam or something, and you experience that. And to you, you're like, oh my God, I'm experiencing God. Like, this is God. Right? How would you be able to tell the difference between God or the alien? How would you be able to tell the difference?
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
So why should you walk around thinking things are God?
See, the reason why I believe in I lean towards more like spiritual God existing, Jesus, is just because people, a lot of our ancestors, people, from the past, they believe in this stuff too. Like,
So help me understand what you're trying to say, because I didn't really get that.
yeah, I guess I'm just saying, I feel like the reason why I lean towards more spirituality, like believing in a spiritual world, believing in like Jesus Christ and all that, is because a lot of the people who lived, before us, believed in a lot of these things too. And science just hasn't filled that gap enough for me to believe that we literally
But bro,
came from.
you realize that gap will never close. It's called God of
Yeah,
the
you
Gaps
see,
for a reason. It's like every time you learn a new bit of information, there's going to be more information to learn, and every time there's more information to learn, you're going to call that more information God.
okay, what are you saying?
So, for instance, currently, right, we don't understand what consciousness is, how it functions, how it works. So, people say, "Oh, consciousness is God," because we don't have an understanding of it. Right? But the minute someone figures out what consciousness is, we stop calling it God. Right? And then the new thing will be, like quantum mechanics says there's, I forget what it's called, a superposition. Something could be on and off at the same time. Until that's figured out, people are going to be like, that's God. And then when it's figured out, it's like, all right, the next thing is God. That's what I mean by God of the Gaps. So truly, that will never stop happening. But to the fact that you said, "Oh, you believe it because our ancestors believe it," right? That's just like a typical bandwagon fallacy. And to be fair, like again, I know a lot of people are going to take this cringe, but to me, you sound black. Our ancestors didn't believe that type of stuff. Right?
No.
Yes.
No,
Right.
when I say ancestors, I'm not. I don't mean like black. Like I just mean like people who lived in the past.
Yeah. So
That's,
right,
that's,
just
to be more specific. About
yeah.
that.
So just generally, people believing things in the past is like
Yeah.
what's called a traditional view, or like a conservative type of view. You want to stay with the traditions of people in the past. Now, one could argue what all that really is peer pressure from dead people. There's no reason to hang on to something if it's wrong. Your ancestors would want to update their knowledge too if they had the opportunity to, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but you see, like, I feel like, have you? So you don't believe in anything supernatural, right?
I haven't got a reason
You have
to.
not had. Yeah, you see, I guess that's where we kind of disagree a lot because.
But yeah, I did
do
before, though.
believe, I do believe. So what changed?
I didn't have a reason to. that's the problem. When I actually examined it, all right, where did I get this idea from? Who does it serve? How does it serve me? What's at the foundation of this idea? It was literally just a lack of knowledge. You get it's the same thing could be said about fear. How does one reduce fear? Through information, through knowledge, bro. That's all it is. It's the same kind of scenario, bro.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like.
But it takes
I've had
work.
enough supernatural experiences to just believe in that, and I've had.
How would you know? Like we said earlier on, how would you even know it's supernatural? You can't even tell the difference between God and an alien. So how would you know?
But no. You were saying alien, right? Your example, yeah. No,
All right.
from your example specifically.
So here's an example. How would you know the difference between having a psychotic break, meaning like experiencing like a temporary madness, right? Whether it's schizophrenia or whatever, right? How would you know the difference between that and an experience of God? How would you know the difference?
Over time, with enough time, you would know.
How?
100%.
How?
Because in the moment you wouldn't know, but give it like a month.
So-
or like if, give it like. No, I'm being real.
Yeah,
Give it, like,
but as the time
2 months,
passes,
you would know. You
what-
would reflect. As
Yeah.
time passes. Like, oh man, I think I was going a little crazy over there.
So,
Give it
so
enough
would it
time,
be?
you would.
So would it ever be reasonable to say, actually, when I'm experiencing this thing, it's more likely God than it is likely that I'm crazy, or temporarily crazy?
I mean, in the moment, it would be kind of hard to tell in real time what's going on. I'm being honest, but I feel like given enough time and you reflect back, you would be able to like come to your senses. Okay, I think that I was just exaggerating during this time. I think that was a little,
Could the same be said about these multiple supernatural experiences that you claim to have experienced? Then
No,
why?
no. I mean, because there's levels to it. Dude, because dude, it's kind of hard to describe what a supernatural.
Yeah, of course it's hard because it surpasses natural, right? It's supernatural. Of course it's hard to describe it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, dude, it's
Hey, what's up, great man? Alright, anyways, alright. I'm gonna stop I'm gonna stop effing with you, bro. I appreciate you though.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the chat.
Alright. Good chat, bro. So
You
yeah.
have a good one.
Alright, does anyone else want to come up? We'll stay on a little bit longer. What? Yeah, of course, AJ. What are you talking about? Of course I do, bro. This game's got all kinds of magic spells in it. It's got dragons in there, like, you know, just like the Bible. It's got magic, it's got blessings, it's got curses, it's got giant ants and stuff, apparently. Oh, is that where we are? Alright, we're not doing this yet, but we've unlocked it, so that's good. All I wanted to do is come get the key for the snowfield, but I keep forgetting where that little village is. Alright. Ooh, I've never heard that 1-star rating. Where did you get that interpretation from? It's like I've been like so lax today. Another day, like we'll get to like the hard hitting actual arguments, but it's just there's no vibe for it today, so there's no reason to. I don't know, Wade. I don't know. Why don't you ask it and let me know what it tells you? Yeah, of course there can be intelligent life coming from non-intelligent life. Right, so here's a scenario, right? Let's imagine there is a universe level being, right, which we on Earth might call a creator. But what would happen if that universal level being can create whole universes or galaxies or solar systems just by its reproductive organs? So meaning like, you know, not to get too vulgar, but like it passes a type of fluid and that type of fluid creates whole galaxies, right? What if that's the case? So it didn't intelligently or intentionally design anything, but it just creates things just by the way of its, you know, nature. What if that's the case also? Why would it have to be some kind of intelligence behind this act? You know, that's not necessarily so, right? And that being said, as it currently stands, the explanation for how we got here, it doesn't require any intelligence to produce life in this way. It's not ironic, AJ. I'm playing a fantasy game and I'm talking to religious people about their fantasies. how's it ironic? It's like it's cohesive as fuck. It's like it's legit the same theme. It's the same genre. It's like I'm just playing, but if you actually think about it, it's like it's really the same thing. It'd be like if sometime in the far future a cult was to develop around Lord of the Rings. And they take all of like Tolkien's books, I think it's Tolkien, and they start looking at it like, no, Middle Earth was really a place, you know, and Hobbits was really a nation, and the orcs were really a nation, Saruman was really a guy, you know, and these things really happened, and now like all across humanity, we're in a struggle between dark and light, you know. In the future, and we call them the Lords, right? To them, their whole belief system would be true, but to any surviving member of this point in history that knows the history of Lord of the Rings would be like, their shit is fantasy, okay? There might be some truth in it, just like there is actually truth in the Tolkien stories. There is actually some truth in it, right? I mean, like how he's written it, metaphorically speaking, right? Some things do relate to real historic like events, right? In the same way, events in this game by what's his name, George R.R. Martin, right? He's writing fantasy and fiction, but he's using real world events in it, like to speak metaphorically or allegorically. So it's the same kind of thing. It's just that religion has reached a critical mass where it's accepted in society, whereas these things are more accepted as entertainment primarily. But there's plenty of studies and like deep dives and essays been written about all of these kinds of things because there's value in it, just like there's value in religious texts. Okay. Yeah, and he's the guy who wrote what was it called? Game of Thrones, right? So there's obviously real world inspiration in that kind of stuff, or else people wouldn't take it so deeply. But anyways, all jokes aside, yes, I do think a lot of these these religious views are primarily still just as much fantasy as any game that like this, but at the bottom of it, you know. Mario Kart with mods. Alright, why can't I remember where that little village is? So there should have been a bridge down here where you could like turn into it. Ooh. Getting attacked by a flying spaghetti monster. See? Godzilla, bro. Alright, does anyone else want to come up? Tom Bombaldi. I don't even know who that is. Bombadil, bro. I don't know who that is. Yeah, we can use a map now. So, I remember, actually. It might be closer to this area. Where is that village? Deep Answer Well. I was just there. Moonfolk Ruins. I'm sure that dragon there. The village should have been up here somewhere. Alright, well, let's just Google it, save the time. All this messing about. We could have got to the snowfield ages ago, just started the DLC, I just looked. But feel free to request up if you actually want to talk about the subject. Like, the subject is humans invented God, a character that were excluded from the movie trilogy for a reason. Why was he excluded? Well, I'm not well informed about the Tolkien Lord of the Rings lore, to be fair. Let's see. I swear I like Googled that the other day. So we want Snowfield. It's like Haligtree medallion. Use it. Then the right half is found in the village Albinorix. I swear it's here somewhere. No inhibition. Show me on the map. In Larunia of the Nakes. I swear it was like there on the way to that little worm where all the rock people are. So y'all just gonna sit back there and not even come up here, huh? Why is the map so pixelated? It's here. But they show like just a square of the map. I need to see it in relation to the rest of the map. So stupid. Show me the wiki. Alright, safe. I know what direction to head in. I'm talking about the scientists, what do you mean? Fear, I believe it does. I believe knowledge can reduce fear in some circumstances. Now, would that be for all circumstances? Probably not, but I think it definitely does. Information reduces fear. A large part of what fear and anxiety and things like that, is our imagination, like projecting things that aren't really like how they aren't, you know. Imagining things to be worse than they are, or, you know, filling in the blanks. And that's what raises fear most of the time. It's the unknown part of it. But yeah, I don't necessarily think knowledge will cure fear completely, but in some instances it can. I agree, man, still. I agree. Ooh. I do not remember going this way. I don't think it is this way. Ah, that's what... Wait a second. Someone just transformed. little shits are dangerous. Right, yeah, so we're not really meant to be messing about this part of the map. No requests? Damn, bro. It's fun. I don't even know what that is. What is DLSS? I don't even know what that is, bro. Alright, so Uncle Tom says, why should we change your mind? You want hell, who's to stop you? Alright, so why should I think hell is even a thing? And that's even a possibility? And why would I think hell is a thing based on what I'm saying? You know? How is what I'm saying punishable? That doesn't even make sense. Like, it's crazy to think how, like, egotistic people are who claim to be speaking on behalf of God. Like, if God is like an all-powerful, all-knowing entity, why would he give a damn what I think? It wouldn't give a damn, bro. In fact, anything I think would be because it wants me to think it. so like, what is there to worry about from that point of view? It's just you and your like weird, perverted views on how the world should be. You want everyone to conform to that. It's like, that's just weirdo shit, bro. Like, get real. So what's the overarching point on that, Erland? What they plan to do with it? I recognise this place. I found it. I mean, AJ, I'm conflicted with that view of free will. Like, again, I like to say, when I'm feeling pessimistic, then no, I'm just hard determinist. It's like, it's all decided. When I'm feeling optimistic, I'm more of a compatibilist. But I still kind of hold to the view that there is no free will. In fact, I was listening to a lecture this morning, and I don't even know how to explain it the way he explained it, but it's like the negation of negation. So you're free to not be free, but at the same time, you're not free to be free. It's very weird. It's very weird. There's a lot to it. I've read things about it as well, and I'm still not really fully understanding where it stands. There's views about it from like a scientific point of view, meaning like you could hold the view which might be considered a modal collapse philosophically, but it'd be like if the Big Bang really is the setting off of everything, which it technically isn't, that would make everything from that point necessary and locked in. So like everything that would ever happen from the beginning was necessary, therefore you're locked into a hard deterministic system anyway. But then you can also approach it from a philosophical point of view. So there's a lot to it. Even a political point of view. What does free will look like amongst our society, and how we structure our rules and our laws and our moral codes, etc. There's lots to it. But like, I tend to take a more of a what might be considered a compatibilist view. Like, as a non-philosopher, non-scientist, just an average Joe guy. I'll give an analogy for it in a sec after this guy gets out of the way. He just healed. Helped. Tell I'm tired, bro. I haven't string a sentence together. Oh, gosh. I actually wasn't even going to come online as well. I had a headache when I got in. I was like, yeah, this is long. Kind of glad I did now. Alright. But yeah, in general, the idea of freedom and liberty has plagued me for a long time. And it probably will for the rest of my days. But that being said, I like to give a metaphor like this. For instance, this map, like, we're all playing an RPG individually, like it's a role-play game for people who don't know, right? And in this role-play game, like, we can make so many choices, like, customize our weaponry, like, just the sheer amount of weapons there are, like, the combinations are a lot. Like, I won't say necessarily endless, like, but the sheer amount of combinations of things you could choose from almost seem endless. And even your character design, what the character looks like, you know, it seems endless. But the reality is, when you zoom out on the map, this is a free world, it's a free roam game. It's what's called an open world or a sandbox game. So it means you can almost go anywhere that the map permits. But the reality is the beginning and the end of the game already been coded, right? The map itself, all the options you can pick have already been coded. So you don't have a free will in this world. You have options, you can make loads of choices within it, but the deterministic structure has already been established by the fact that the zeros and ones have been coded for this map to stop at this part here, right? For you to be able to go into that building there, right? For you to be able to pick, whatever clothes you pick, be attacked at this point or defend at another. You can make like almost unlimited amount of choices, but to me, being able to make choices doesn't entail true free will. So that's kind of the point I'm saying. So even within a closed kind of system of determinism, you can have choices, but you just can't be free, like, ultimately. Again, not a philosopher, not a scientist, just a normal guy. I go by like the standard definition. I think it's the ability to act unconstrained by necessity or fate or at one's own discretion. That's what that general definition of free will is. And I don't think any mortal person can do that. So there's that. Yeah, utopian. It might be a bad analogy if you want to be, persnickety or like specific. Of course, right? You as a computer hacker or modder or a coder, you can do more with it. But I'm looking at it as an analogy for the larger picture. Even you, right? So, on a scientific level, Utopon Cube didn't pick his parents. He didn't decide when and where he was going to be born. So he's subject to what's called a genetic lottery anyway. So he doesn't decide what his biochemical makeup is going to be, his actual hardware, his brain. The software, if you're a materialist, that functions from your hardware is your mind. Now, your mind can pick up all different kinds of information on this way. Basically external stimuli, sensory data, to build you as a person that becomes Utopon, who can be a coder. But Utopon base hardware is decided for him. Utopon didn't pick his base hardware. The causal chain picked Utopon's basic hardware, which is his genetics, okay? But Utopon's genetics determine how well and if at all his mind can develop and function. So even from that point of view, you don't have free will in that view. What you're able to think, what you're able to feel even, is already decided for you by your genetics too. There's that. Then there's a view on like on a very like a quantum level of reality. If you as an individual have no control over which way an electron will spin, that electron spinning has macro consequences. So on a micro level, it's just like some invisible thing to the naked eye, but it has macro consequences. So if you're not even able to control that small thing, then the knock-on effect of that goes all the way up the chain and all the way back down the chain. So there's many ways to look at it, but I'm not telling you should have that. You should take that view, because as a human, it's easier to reconcile day-to-day life, not viewing life in a closed deterministic system, not feeling like your decisions are coerced or already chosen for you. It makes life manageable. But for some people, it can also be quite relieving to know, actually, I'm not in control of this, and whatever does happen happens because it was meant to happen. So you can take a stoic approach too from determinism. But that being said, I don't know, right? How can I know? I'm just in the game like you, bro. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Lou? Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You view it as an act in accordance with your own will, but the reality is, how much of that will is actually you or your will, right? Because there's like the biological point I just said, your parents and your genetics, and that's been determined by their parents and their environment, etc. But then there's the psychological you that makes you think you have a will. That's instilled in you by external factors, right? The country, the society, the household you grew up in. All those things will shape your perception of the you that you're calling the I that is you, that you say has a will. So even the things you think you will aren't necessarily your views, which is like one of the main things that is worthwhile through this whole kind of journey of conversations. Why do we believe in gods and spirits and religions and etc.? It is trying to break it back down to that fundamental point. Where at what point and what time did I pick this up, and how is it actually designed to serve that same I that makes me think I have a will? Does that make sense, Erland, right? But again, on a day-to-day living point of view, yes, I want to feel like I have free will. I want to feel like I'm able to say yes and no to things and pick things and not pick things. But is it actually the case is the problem. Right? It's like, remember the other night we was talking about there may not necessarily be continuity between Erland as a child and Erland as an adult. If Erland's psychology or his mind creates a situation where he has episodic identities, so one day Erland is this way, next day Erland is another way, or Erland experiences what's called dementia, meaning he loses track of his memories and who he was in some extent, right? Then that also changes the continuity of who Erland is psychologically. Physically, Erland has DNA that we can identify Erland by, but Erland as an embryo isn't the same as Erland as 50-year-old man on a bed, right? I'm not saying that is ever going to be your case, right? Forgive me. But yeah, like the atoms and the molecules that have been added to Erland since he was an embryo till when he's on his last day aren't the original Erland either. Right. I forgot why I was saying that, right? But yes, no, that's why I was saying that. But society, as we function as humans, we need to be able to have a sort of container for the continuity to be able to say Erland is Erland as a child and Erland is Erland as an adult. To be able to make use of things like morals and ethics. How are we going to judge Erland for X, Y, and Z? We need to be able to say, yeah, like Ship of Theseus, kind of like that, right? The Ship of Theseus itself is different parts. The entrepreneur that picked up the pieces, is his ship still Ship of Theseus? That kind of shit, right? But societally, we need the construct of continuity to be able to make sense of things. To say that, yes, Erland is Erland, set is set. Right? Erland is making choices of his own fruition, if that's how you say it, of his own will, and Set is making choices of his own will. Because if we say that Set and Erland aren't making choices of their own will, what are the consequences of that across society? Okay, that's the problem. But shit, no one cares about that. Let's go to the DLC now that we've got the piece that we needed. All right. The line is still open now. You can call in for maybe one more before we get out of here. But we'll see if we can set up the DLC for tomorrow's stream maybe. Right. I don't know if that's true, Toby, right? I don't even know if there's evidence of Moses ever existing, or Peter, or like all those kinds of people. I just take those to be things to do with the Bible, so I don't really look at them as like concrete realities. I think they more serve like a storytelling device than anything else. Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey, bro, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Ha! That's fine.
So what do you consider God then?
Me personally, I think God's just an abstract concept or just an idea. What do you think God is?
I mean, I guess I agree, but I mean that doesn't mean that it's like, can't really explain it. Like to be a God in my book is just to have like effect over something.
Say again, sorry.
Just to be a God is kind of like to have effect and like ruling over something or like to create,
I can see that.
Yeah, so I don't think that like the God of the universe is like some great spirit. I believe it's kind of more like a anti-spirit, if that makes sense. It's not like something that's like
That does make sense to me. What's an anti-spirit?
So in science you have this gradient between the kind of like what's measurable and what's not. Consciousness is about measuring and being able to be measured. Like I can't really explain it. It's all just kind of ideas, like even the stuff that we're using right now, it's just our lenses capturing light and stuff, and then we invent that light into what we want. and create stuff in our head. So I believe like you're kind of right. It is like psychological and human driven, but there's still truth into like things put us here. I still have hands for a specific reason. Might not be like how the Bible says it. My hands were made so I can worship God. That's kind of stupid. My hands are made so I can grab things.
At,
know?
le- at
My
least,
hands were
at
made
least
to
you acknowledge
grab.
that. At least you acknowledge
Yeah,
that.
my
That's
hands were
good.
made to grab things though. But I still have precursors, and I don't want to say God like loosely, but really it is kind of gods that led us here, even if it's not like a god of the sea or a god of everything, So it's really more of like how you put it and what the Christians mean. Because sometimes they'll just flat out say, oh, the God that put everything here. But if
Hmm.
God put everything here, how is free will here?
Oh yeah,
It's not
that's
all just
another
one thing.
that's another problem. Yeah, like kind of the long yap I was just going down. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
my bad.
PND, just hold tight for a second, right? I sent you an invite. Just chill. Just let me just speak to Radolf for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically done with that. It's just really more of like how you conceptualize it, Like, to me, gods are real, but I'm not gonna expect some light coming from the sky specifically for me.
Hmm.
That's more about like divination and stuff away from God.
Well,
So
I don't
it's
know if I'd say that. I think that's also within that same tradition, that religious tradition of viewing things.
oh yeah, I see what you mean. I just feel like God's more personal, and then it's also about how the person like views it. I have people in my family who don't believe they can talk to God, but they can talk to saints somehow, dead saints, because they're Catholic. That makes
Hmm.
less sense than talking to God.
Yeah, I've
But
heard
I
people
still
believe
don't
stuff
believe
like
in.
that.
Yeah. I don't believe in like praying really. I believe praying is more for yourself to get over things.
Yeah,
Um,
I can see that view. I think prayer has some
yeah, but
psychological benefits,
I
but
still
I don't think
put
it does anything
significance in
else.
the thing. Wait, you said what?
I think prayer can have psychological benefits, but I don't think it does anything else, like externally.
Yeah, I agree. But I believe that like the things that allow us to do that, kind of like what drive evolution kind of is the need for more and the acceptance of the past kind of. So it's like this weird like little middle part where it's like I kind of believe in God, but I don't, and I want other people to believe in God, but I don't want them to
Why?
put like the religion into it, you
Why do you
know?
want other people to believe in God?
Because the denial of it kind of like has a lot to do with consciousness. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but uh, I don't know. It's like people say, all right, what makes you conscious? But really, consciousness, like, I'm not me because of my physical form. I'm me because of the energy trapped in my physical form.
Well, that's a belief you hold, but not necessarily a reality. That's still not a good reason for you to want people to believe in God, though. To be fair with you,
Well, I'm saying
it's
like the
kind
thing that
of,
makes
you say
me
it like a kind of
like
join the gang type of view. It's like I want them to be in my group kind of thing, but you're not giving
no,
a
it's
good
more of
reason.
like I'm not like fully Christian like that. Like I'm Christian because I like Jesus Christ, but I don't even believe he
Did you say you
divine
like
like
him?
that. Yeah.
I mean, he's a
It's just a
decent
weird
character,
thought.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's not the worst
Historically,
person.
he did good things. You know, I don't know about the
Yeah,
people around
I
him.
guess. Yeah, I guess. To me, as a fictional character, yeah, he did serve a purpose in the Bible, but fine, that's fine with
Wait, so
me.
you don't accept all of the historical accounts of him,
Yeah, I
or
think there's a separation between Magic Man Jesus and like a Jewish preacher. I think there's a separation between those two people. And
oh yeah,
I
I
feel like
agree.
the Jewish preacher may have existed and people built the stories around him from their various different cultures and traditions. And a group of people called the Nicene Council had to put that together in what becomes the New Testament. So I think
Yeah,
there's quite a clear difference between those two people.
yeah. Actually, you're exactly right. I mean, the Catholics were talking about a man that was already dead, so of course they're not even understanding what they're talking about.
Right.
And then people of the Old Testament don't even know Jesus. You know,
Of
so
course they
you're
wouldn't.
right there.
Yeah, of course they wouldn't. Look, apparently the people who were talking about him didn't know him either, but there you
I just Yeah, I'm about to get off real quick, but I just really want to say, like, it's really about like how you define it. I mean, there
I
are
mean, yeah,
gods out there,
I would
but it's
agree,
not like,
but what you're really speaking to is kind of the point of what I'm saying, right? People can call God whatever they want to call it because it's an abstract idea. It goes where you go, and it depends on your cultural leanings, your background, your history, your perception, how much you know, how much you don't know. Those are the things that will shape your view of what gods are. So fundamentally, gods only exist in the mind and not externally to humans. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Well, so you don't believe that, like, or I guess that makes sense, you know? There's not, like, one God for every person.
Exactly.
Right.
There is no universal view of a god. There never has been. There probably never will be.
I believe a dude, or not a dude, but I believe something started the universe. But you are right.
Possibly,
That
yeah.
doesn't start me.
Possibly, yeah.
You said what?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I have no problem with that being the case, but I don't think there's good reasons to call whatever that might be a god, because we know why we came up with gods in the first place.
I see your point. I guess I do agree with you.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, good chat, bro.
Nice talking to you, man.
Appreciate you. Yo, PND.
I'm here.
Yo, what's up? I saw what you said.
Why don't
I saw what you said.
believe-
Nah. Why you calling me a coon?
Cause as a person that lived in such unnecessary hate without cause,
Right.
the world we live in,
Right.
it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't believe in God. Cause
So-
I don't understand why we still here.
Alright, so if you ask yourself, how did you or your ancestors arrive at the concept of God, which people function with today?
I don't see. That's the thing. People like to hold on to the past.
Oh, now, you see, okay. Now it's just the past, huh? Huh, it seems like the roles are reversed real quick, haven't they, huh?
No.
Interested. Go on,
Let's talk
yeah.
about the Negro
It's just the past, right?
when they were in slavery.
Right.
And the only way they escaped is looking through the stars. It's called Negro Christianity, and they found a way how to escape
No,
by
bro.
looking through the stars.
No,
That's
bro.
how Christianity started.
What are you talking about? Like, come on,
That's
like.
how they escaped.
No, they did not escape through that. Like, what are you talking about?
They
Like,
did. And
oh
people
my
learn about it.
lord!
It's called
All right, so
Negro
tell me something,
Christianity.
right? How much about Black history have you read? What's like your favorite Black history book?
I don't have a favorite Black history.
But
It's
but
not
you're
like
calling
it didn't
people
sweep it and
coons.
hit
But you're
it.
calling people coons. What? Who's your favorite?
You
like,
you are exactly
How
what
much
the
Black
white
history?
person think a
How
black
much Black
person is.
history have you studied?
Cause you the one like black people. This black people.
Have
I'm not
you-
putting a label. That's why I'm calling you.
What's your favorite?
For you to be
What's your
on a
favorite
TikTok page,
figure from
TikTok
Black
is owned
history?
by the Chinese.
What's your
This
favorite
is
Black
owned by
history
white man's
figure?
platform.
Have you ever
There's
read The
not one
Destruction of
black
Black
man in corporate
Civilization?
America.
Have you ever
There's
read?
not one
Have
black
you
man
ever
that
read?
owns his own business.
Have you ever
And you
read?
talking about humans invented God.
Have you ever read The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams? Have you? Have you ever read that book?
Why are you asking me that question? Because Satan loves to
I
tell
mean,
a lie. Why are you asking me that question?
It pertains to
Your
everything that
process,
you
humans
that you
invented God.
mentioned. Right? What is the last intellectual thing you've been involved in surrounding or concerning Black people or Black benefits in any way?
Why are you? Who put the label black? Who created
Yeah,
the label
I'm
black?
aware of that. I'm quite aware of that. But you know how you'd get a better understanding of that is if you actually research your history.
But franchises, yes.
If you actually research your history, if you actually cared about your people, you would know that, right? You would at least be able to give me a book that you've read. Right? They're not your people, but the view of God you got, the view of God you got has been given to you via your slave master. So who is the coon here?
You.
How? Explain it to me. Explain. Aren't you?
Why would you say that? When you're the one telling me
Aren't
that
you?
believe
All
in
right. So.
black. You asking me about black when I'm saying
All
your
right.
caption says humans.
So
invented
why don't you
God.
explain to me then the
What does that
history?
mean?
Why don't you explain to me the history of the word coon?
Because to me, a coon is what every little white man created for a black man.
All right. So how old are you?
Everything
How
about
old are
black
you,
person,
PND? With all due respect, how old are you?
That's you, the face of it.
How
Because
old are
you're
you,
sitting here
PND?
playing like Satan.
Right. How
and
old are
your
you,
caption
PND?
says humans invented God.
Have you
Why
ever
are
read
you
Harlem
off track?
Renaissance? Have you ever read
Why
Destruction of
Wolf
Black
Pack?
Civilization by Chancellor Williams?
Why-
Have
why
you ever
does-
read
why does
the
black
autobiography
matter?
of Marcus
Why does
Garvey?
black matter?
Have you ever read
Humans
Uh,
can't invent God.
you know-
You cannot create your creator. It's impossible.
Right, so we could talk about that,
It's
but we need to
literally
address.
impossible.
We could talk about that, but we need to address why you think it's
Why?
okay to call any black person that disagrees with what you think a coon, specifically based on the
never
fact
said
that
black
you're not
people
even
disagree.
educated
I'm
about
saying
black
your
culture.
mindset of this world
Right.
and the
Do you wanna
label
explain
put on
that?
yourself,
Right, so
that's why you in that position.
what it would seem like in
That's
this
why
modern
boom,
day,
boom, boom.
in this modern day, you've got a lot of people running about on the internet saying things that they can't actually support. When you don't even know your own history,
What
who
is
are
my own
you to call
history,
anyone a
Bob?
coon if you haven't
What is-
even
what
read a
is my
book
history?
on
You
your
the only
own
one that
history?
live by that black label, sir.
So what are you then?
And I'm just replying to the
Are you?
prompt.
Do you identify as an
I'm not
African?
coon, so I don't represent
Do you identify as an
humans
African?
that lived before me. I don't represent anything a human created.
Do you
I am a
identify
God's
as an
child.
African? Do you identify as an African?
I identify as God's child.
Do you
I'm not an
identify? Yes or
African.
no?
Like, what part of Africa?
You see, who is the coon? Who is the coon here? Right? Do you see this? This is what the internet produces. A lot of people who think they're about it, but they have never offered any kind of work in this thing, right?
He's calling some black
Right.
and black people.
What do you identify as?
People that look like us, they
What do
even
you
created the word
identify
black.
as?
White
Tell
people
me, right?
created the word black
Well, do you
people.
identify as an African then?
I don't identify none but the Lord and Savior child.
All right. Thank
I
you
don't
very
feel
much
like
for
it's
identifying
so-
yourself to us. All right. I appreciate you. You need to read. You need to
Yes,
study.
I'm not a
and you need to
fool,
wake up.
because if you say I'm black,
What a fool, right? Do you see how the world works, right? It'd be the people throwing the insults that be the least educated. It's crazy. Read a book. I suggest you read The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. I'll get the book for you, actually, so you can know what it looks like. They be crazy on the internet. Completely uneducated. It's like, what is wrong with you? You're embarrassing. Right, now I'm gonna actually change the camera effect so I can show you. It's like, bloody hell. What an atrocious person. But I can't really blame her, right? She's just really copying everything that's around her. Now look, right? Before you fix your mouth to call any black person a coon or anything, right? Go and read. This book's called The Black Jacobins, right? It's written by a guy called, what's his name? CLR James, right? Go read about the Black Jacobins. It's about the Haitian Revolution. Check this book out. It's called The Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. Go read this book, right? There's a book called The Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon. Wait, I'll get it for you so you can have a look. This book is called The Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon, right? Get this book and read this book. Or a smaller book, right? This book is called Conscientism by Kwame Nkrumah, right? Before you ever consider to fix your lips to call any other black person a coon, ask yourself, what have you put forward? What is your ideology? What is your knowledge base? How much do you know about history? How much do you know about culture? Okay? I got another one for you, actually. She can't even bother to get them all out, right? Where's mom? Ain't no way, boy. Specifically for like you so-called black Americans, right, that be on the internet talking crazy. You want to get a better understanding of what was happening around the time where Du Bois was writing his books? Go read this book. It's called Harlem Renaissance. You want to get an understanding of what was happening around that same time on the other side of the political spectrum? Go get this book, right? It's called Marcus Garvey, Black Moses, right? You should educate yourself, right? I probably know more about your American history than you do, right? So be careful who you're talking to. I don't like to talk too crazy on the internet like that because I'm just a guy, right? There's lots of stuff that I don't know, but I'm sick of people like you, bro. You get on the internet and you're so uneducated about so much, but you got so much to say. Right? Read a fucking book. And then you can come tell me the history of what a coon is and how you fix your black lips to call another black man that. Embarrassing. Anyways. Should we put it back to normal? Right. Is everyone happy? Right. So sorry for the dampener, but I saw what she said. I would have been happy to talk about God with her and why maybe she shouldn't be considering the Christian type of God from a black perspective, but she's too ignorant, right? But speaking to her is speaking to other people too, so sometimes it's necessary, right? But I love that. You don't even know where you stand in history, yet you got so much to say. Appreciate you. No, just playing. But seriously though, PND, I ain't got no hate for you, but what you've expressed is like symptomatic of where the youth are today. Right? And it's not really your fault. It's the people around you. It's the culture that's behind why you are the way you are. And that shit is why I do what I do here. It's to deprogram people like you and get you back to the things that actually matter. You know? Like that solid stack of books I just showed you. That shit actually matters. Has real world consequences. Anyways. Let us all play along, shall we? Dude, like, it's so sad, man. So sad. Alright, but yeah, it's a reality. So yeah, if you guys wonder why I act that way, it's cause that, right? When you but yeah, the reality is, right, to exist in a somewhat informed state about things is to take heat from both sides of the aisles. You got the racists that hate you for being a bit better than what they expect you to be. Then you got people who look like you that hate you for not doing the exact same things that they want you to do. It's a hard place to be, right? But it's still worth doing it. So remember that. Anyways, let's go let's go open up the DLC. Oh, we're gonna drop off the edge. But right, that was an unexpected detour, wasn't it, guys? I don't know if the YouTube people heard any of that. Hopefully their ears weren't defiled. Hopefully it weren't too dread. But yeah, man. I mean, it's also, I do apologize for my response because it's unnecessarily agitated about it. But I would have liked to talk her through, like, to walk her through why she thinks what she thinks, but it got to one of those ignorant places. So it's just like, you know, I would actually speak to you again, PND, on a more calm day if you would like to. But yeah, there's a lot to walk through. There's a lot to unpack. Why would you think, because you see a person with a black face telling you humans invented God, that I somehow am a coon? If you actually think about what's being said here, what I'm saying benefits you more than anything else. Right? But you're not able to see that yet. You've got to do a lot more reading. You've got to do a lot more learning, gain a lot more experience about what's going on out here. Not everyone will. Right? And it's not even about like racial persecution in that kind of way, like from either sides. It's about the reality of history and what it's done. Okay, but you just wouldn't get it. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways. It's crazy, man. Oh, I don't have Twitter. Well, actually, I have a Twitter, but I haven't used it in a long time. Oh, this is a... Oh! There's a fight coming up. we're just trying to get to the DLC. It was so nice and peaceful. It's crazy. Ain't picked up a book in how many bloody years? Like, to be fair, like, she did sound fairly young though, so she probably just doesn't know. Probably just doesn't know. Everyone was ignorant at some point, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She probably just doesn't know. Yeah, I hear it still, but didn't think we'd go there tonight, did you? I was like, oh, these things are full of surprises. Absolutely. But yeah, I don't get me wrong, at the same time, I'm in no position to talk as if, like, you know, I'm carrying a black race on my back, because I'm not. I'm just another person. But at least I'm trying from my way. I'm trying in my way. What are you doing in your way? You know? Off the edge! A jagged Pepsi logo? What do you mean? What do you mean, Ellen? That's a rough take. Yeah, I can't even like properly reset the vibes now. Like, the vibes are just gone. Vibes are just gone. Let's just try and get to DLC in one piece, shall we? This run was a bit awkward because of the snowfields. Oh, might even do Millennia just for the fun of it. Do you know, I should actually, at the same time, it's actually a sign of like progress. In a strange way, it's actually quite a good sign of progress. Where did who come from? Mr. AI Slop is not pre-recorded. We're just on different channels. What? It's sad, right? Like, you can't really expect to undo what is now centuries of indoctrination through like one conversation, but it's still worthwhile doing it in that way. At least attempting it, you know. But it's crazy. See what I mean? The ignorance is just shining through. Do you know what the Gregorian calendar is, PND? Or what the Julian calendar is? Like, there's probably no point in me even putting words on the screen because you're not even going to read them. It actually exemplifies a whole category of people. And I'm not even one of those types of people who talk down on, you know, like, so put it this way, right? What she's saying is right. Black as a category is not something we define as ourselves. It was devised to other us by Europeans, right? For a whole psychological system which Christianity plays into, which she hasn't got to yet, obviously. Okay? But that being said, within black is not a monolith. Right? There is no black culture like that, where all black people must act the same, speak the same, look the same, think the same. That doesn't exist. That's a myth that was invented by racists. And now, in how modern day is functioning, even people within that same typecasted group think in that racist format. That's what she displayed is called self-hatred. She sees me as a different kind of black person, thinking in a different type of way, speaking a different type of way, and automatically her mind goes to that slave master mentality. He's not staying in line. He's not acting like a good boy. He's doing bad things according to this teaching that I've been given. You're supposed to view me like that. My job is to point out the chains on your brain and your feet. You're not going to like that. It's going to induce cognitive dissonance. Right? It's going to take time for us to get there. But that being said, black isn't some monolith. We are people, individuals, right? We just so happen to share the same ancestry. But as they say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So at some level, she's right. But just so happens she's on the wrong side of this one. But anyways. It's bloody sad. Sad indeed. Right. So, it's like old Harriet comes to mind. What does she say, man? It's quite sad. Oh no. Right, but yeah, that being said, like, I'm just gonna leave it alone now. I'll leave it alone. P&Ds are, right, as crazy or angry as you might be about what I've said and what I've shown you, still, maybe at some point you'll be able to reflect on what's actually been said here. And be like, oh, that fucking crazy black British guy might have had a point. Or maybe you won't, right? Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll just stay in the cycle you're in currently. Hopefully not, though. Because it's very likely you're going to be responsible for bringing other lives into this world as well. And that could be quite problematic, the way you're thinking right now. But that's just the end of that. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know, Erland, in terms of the ism, even that view of tribes in that way is actually also a European invention devised to categorize a certain group of people. Now, yeah, do we display in-group, out-group politics across the world in different spectrums? Yeah, from sports to politics, we sure do. But the view of tribalism is something that was devised through a more negative side of anthropology. So that too has its own bad history. But again, things can there's a such thing called semantic bleaching, right? So things start out meaning a certain thing, and over time, like, the sting of it gets changed in various different ways, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. For instance, like the idea of black fatigue. The idea of black fatigue was put together by a black doctor, a female woman. When the way she wrote it is in the opposite of how it's used today. So that's a good example of it being semantically bleached and captured and hijacked to be used against the very same people it was devised to help. So these things happen, and the way P&D displays that word is an expression of the same thing. Right? She's in a state of capture, and she just doesn't know it. But shit, I'm tired. Ain't my job to educate you people, man. You need to educate yourselves on this shit. If you care. I said I was going to get to DLC, but I can't be bothered, man. Actually, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna get to DLC. That'll be the last thing we do. I promise. We'll get to the DLC. We'll do the fight, and then we'll shut the stream down. Oh my gosh. What a lost child, man. She's not alone, though. Research what the Gregorian calendar is, and what the Julian calendar is. And before that, it was called the Age of Martyrs. Go and research. Stop just listening to shit that people tell you, who are likely not even smarter than you. Go and look for yourself. Right? I know I got on that boy yesterday for saying go research for yourself, but this is one of those things that aren't too hard to research. Right? There is a clear, well-established reason why the calendar was changed. Right? And again, all of that entails the oppression and suppression of people that look like you. Right? Not just look like you, but people that look like you too. Right? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And again, like, it actually benefits racist agendas to keep black people like that, what she displayed. It's just like pure out and out ignorance. It benefits them on so many levels. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Everybody ain't gonna make it, man. I'm joking. It'd be nice if they could, though. Yeah, I'm aware of that as well, Erland, right? But I'm talking systematically how it's been used. Who's the dominant, or what you would say, the hegemonic use of it is a difference, right? Yeah. Now we're going to start getting into race politics, which this isn't worth going into for. It should be done in a more calm, non-contentious way, because people can't learn when emotions are high like that. But yeah. Just leave me alone. I just want to walk past. Keep running. I don't experience tragedy. See, that's the problem, right? Your ignorance is showing and you're wearing it proudly. It's crazy. Oh, look, he's got a friend. It's crazy. You don't understand what you're doing. Like, even based on this whole conversation, there are so many like just random Christian things in the Bible I could throw at you that dismantle everything that you're saying from your own worldview. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. But it's good, man. Stay here, PND. We like you. You're a good teaching tool. We like you. Still chasing? Finally. Foolish child. Alright, it's not this bit, it's the next bit. Oh no. We know the right place. You. It's crazy. It's like it's actually I want to talk about it in a different kind of way. It feels like it actually just feels like I've just been given a crazy amount of responsibility all of a sudden that I don't really want. I actually hate that. It's got bloody bombed. I actually hate that. But I get it now. I fucking get it. What? It was almost there as well. It was almost there. Yes, thank you, Baba. Appreciate you. Now make sure you go pick up one of those books I recommended. Just even one could change your life. You know, or maybe you should even consider reading the actual book that you claim to believe in. Maybe that even might do it for you. Might make you a better person. Who knows if it actually works? Remains to be seen. Damn it, man. Is that him? Nope. Oh. Go, 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 go. Oh, spamming. Spamming. Oh my gosh. That's nice. Oh, that's definitely a child, bro. There's no two ways about it. Ooh, not actually that far away. It's already shooting. Oh, no, I don't think we can even get out there from this angle. Oh, what the hell? That's a spam. Oh my gosh. I've actually never been there before. What you got there? Oh, that weren't worth it. Oh, he can still get me. What the hell? You little shit. Whoa. Angle's so awkward. What? That is just by luck, bro. Ain't no way. There you go. I think I even need stuff that's on there, but why not? Wait, we must have used them from the other playthrough. Where was that guy for the DLC? I'm sure it was in this area. 2020. Why does she speak? I don't think anyone invented us, bro. It's possible, yeah, but I don't think anyone invented us. Yeah, but a higher power could just be anything, bro. What if you find out as aliens? Should we then call the aliens gods? You know? No, troll. Ooh, boy! That's close. Maybe it's further down then. Alright, I'm just gonna Google it. Save some time, man. Come on. Yeah. Anyone, yeah, if you're talking about alien in like a border type of way, sure. Maybe like extraterrestrial life, bro. Why don't you come up and speak to her about it, Carly? You got a minute till we find this bloody thingy. No, I don't want to buy the DLC. I want to know where it is. Man, I'm gonna throw this phone away. Elden Ring. Oh, no wonder. I'm there thinking it's in the snowfield, bruv. I gotta do Mog's Dynasty. I was thinking, what the hell, bro? I don't know why I remember just coming to this area and bruv, what was I thinking? I'm sure there was an NPC there. Oh, I guess there's still time for the DLC then. Absolutely, Kip. Absolutely. Wonder if it was a few what? I've gone past it, haven't I? Ah, forget this, man. I ain't doing this tonight. We'll do it tomorrow, man. I stayed there way longer than I needed to. Way longer than I needed to. Alright, so it's been fun, folks. Hopefully you gained something from this. If nothing else, you've learned not to call strangers slurs. Maybe not, or maybe not. Alright. I'll see you a lot tomorrow, maybe. Can't promise, but yeah. Take it easy.